Hello everyone and welcome to the Reign of Emrys here on Dork Tales. I'm your Dungeon Master Kelly. I use he and him, and I am very excited to be here tonight because today we are concluding a 2-week-long cliffhanger that happened before Christine and I went on a little break from streaming for a week. So really happy to be here tonight. Hope you're going to enjoy this. If this is your first time with Reign of Emrys, this is a homebrew setting that's set in a country of mechanical technological fusion where magic is bent to the whim of technology, and the empire known as Emrys stretches across the known land of the southern continents, seeking dominance to gain its rightful place as the, well, eminent power of this region and perhaps the world eventually. The characters are a group of disparate allies brought together in the service of the Empire who are sent on a quest across the continent to perform various tasks, which we will be discussing in just a moment. But in the meanwhile, I think we should say hello to our cast. Let's start with... hello, Caitlin.
Hello, my name is Caitlin. I'm playing Telfrin Pridery, the human barbarian of wild magic.
I'm so pleased.
I'm so happy to. I use she, her pronouns, and he uses he, him pronouns. Let's see where we go.
All right. Hello, Mike.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and I use they, them pronouns. And tonight I am playing Veritrix Soulstar. She is our lovely little halfling artificer arterialist, and she has a little flying mechanical rabbit named Crux.
Nice. Hello, Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy. I use she, her, or they, them pronouns, and I will be playing Leiden Anmerith today, the ASMR cleric of the grave.
Nice.
And she's a little stressed out by what's going on right now.
And hello, Christine.
Hello, I'm Christine, and I go by she, her pronouns, and I am playing Claudette Belmont, our human noble wizard blade singer.
Nice. And finally, last but not least, hello, Robin.
Hello, everyone. I'm Robin. I go by she, they pronouns, and I am playing Ivy, the tiefling blood hunter who goes by she, her pronouns. And I'm looking forward to this game. It's been so long. 2 weeks is too long for this cliffhanger.
It was a cliffhanger. I just have to put one thing in the chat real quick, and then we can begin. And that is, I'm trying to remember what your uncle's name is, because I can't find that note.
Oh, Claudette's?
Claudette's uncle, yeah. Oh, Virgil Meredith.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say.
I'm like, I literally
wrote it
took
down.
notes. I have a page of notes of who's who in Claudette's family, because I should know that.
I
Sure.
have a very fancy notebook, and I've added tabs.
All right.
Ooh, fancy.
Let's do that. There we go. Someone asked for a poll, so I gave them a poll. Okay, so, and then Amy, you're off in the corner. I'm just going to adjust you real quick. Boop. Wait, no, you're
Cool.
number. So.
Yeah, I don't know how.
You were fine, and then you left the frame, I think, to go get some water.
Maybe, but you also don't have my entire frame like centered on like my green screen, so
I don't. There we go.
I'm
All right,
confused
so-
by that. Okay.
Ivy zoomed. Zoom, zoom. Okay. Boop, boop. All right, so... You know what? It's really good to be back here on Reign of Emrys. If you are tuning in for the first time, the characters have traveled across the continent and have gone to the city of Terranel, inside of the province of Terrania, to meet with various forces. Veri has been hired to go and recalibrate the Imperial Coastal Telescope. Ivy has been hired to head down to the small town of Cordust to hunt down a rogue Imperial alchemist or scientist, still up in the air. And Talfrin's along for the ride, and so is his sidekick Dork. And Claudette and Leiden have been sent to meet with a Imperial Magus, known as Magus Lancea Quarto. And I have another Hurt the More. Okay, this is going to be rough. Last time on Reign of Emrys, though, the characters split up. Very, Ivy, and Dork traveled through the merchant district, trying to acquire what they could for the journey ahead, some items, a gun, as well as some new blades for Ivy. And as they were returning, they encountered someone who they'd met on the train, a half-orc who had been in disguise as a human named Zete Calder. Earlier that day, they'd encountered Zete as well and seen a wanted poster that sure looked like it might be his. Zete said that he was in town looking for someone. He found them, and the party witnessed a gun battle happening in the middle of the merchant district. Not much of a battle, though, because as it raised to a fever pitch and two hands hovered above tremendous six-shooters. I believe it was Ivy tried to interrupt the fight, at which point the other combatant tried to draw and fire on Zete, only to end up with a bullet in the neck. With the battle, well, over before it even began, Zete claimed her gun and headed off with the three of you in tow. Meanwhile, however, over at the center of government inside of town, the other three of you, Talfrin, Claudette, and Leiden, went to meet with Magus Quarto, delivering a letter from Claudette's uncle, Virgil Maravik. Now, Lord Maravik entrusted Claudette with this very important message, which is why it's somehow strange that when you presented it to Quarto, a strange look befell her face that you were able to notice. A darkness passed across her eyes as she flicked her gaze up at Talfrin, recognizing something through his disguise. She set the letter alight, where it still smolders as it begins to float to the ground, and then called out to Talfrin, calling him a slave, and evoking the slave runes branded in his throat to incapacitate him, claiming that you had brought a treasonous, escaped mongrel into her midst. She began to rise to admonish you, but before she could, the stained glass windows that echoed, that flanked this room, exploded inward, and a man with long black hair and a goatee and mustache, with angel wings growing out of the center of his back, several sets of them, smashes through the window, covered in bits of blood and scars. He raises up and says, "Dr. Oaker sends her regards. This ends here. Now, Quarto." And that is where we ended last game, and where we will begin right now. I would really love it if I could get an initiative roll off of everyone. Okay, Quarto did not roll as well as she could have. Okay. And let's do that. All right, did anybody get above 15 in the room?
Just 1 minute. I usually don't use this, and I'm just a little bit...
I've thrown mine in the Zoom chat.
Sounds good.
Okay. Absolutely not.
All right, and what did you... Have you had a chance to roll, Talfrin?
Yeah.
13? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we are looking at... that is going to be starting off with Claudette, going down to Leiden, then this angel person, then Talfrin, Then it is going to be Magus Quarto. However, before this begins, I'm gonna throw in a quick side rule. Real quick, and can I get everybody to roll me a wisdom save to not be shocked by this action?
I got an 18.
18.
I
All right.
rolled a 1, but it adds up to an 8 with my save.
Okay. So you will only be able to take a partial action this turn.
15.
15? So you'll be able to do one action, basically. It's not quite a surprise, but you're going to be stunned by this because you're not used to combat. Not like this, anyway. All right. The window explodes inwards, and suddenly this figure raises a sword that ignites with a fiery shimmer. A haze begins to burn across the blade. This ends here, Quarto. And he prepares to attack. Claudette, what do you do?
Okay, so he's come out from the window closest to her.
He is coming from the north window. She is at the far end of the table.
Oh, I see where. Okay, sorry, I see where.
So, there's a large circular table in the center of the room. You have entered from the western door. She is basically at the far east of the room, and he is smashed in from the north, kind of putting him closer to you than to her. I would say that he's about 20 feet north of you and about 30 feet to the northeast of her across the room. It's quite a large room.
Okay. Can I, okay, so I just want to try and, what is she kind of like first noticing about how the mage looks? Do they look really upset, frustrated, angry,
She looks
scared?
shocked, actually. She looks very shocked and a little bit nervous. You can see that she's reaching for the wand at her hip pouch as soon as the window breaks, so much so that actually she throws her hands wide in a defensive stance, preparing to summon a shield, as you would have been taught in Zetrovia. Mm-hmm. Always keep one hand available for shielding spells. As she does so, you will notice that the letter, still singed and beginning to work its way down, begins to float down toward the southern corner of the room.
Is it fair? Oh, okay. So Claudette
about
is
20
going
feet
to
from you?
move around the table in the middle of the room
Okay.
to kind of come up closer to Magus Quarto and away from the person at the window, just putting some space between them.
Okay.
And I think she'll get ready to cast shield if necessary.
Sounds good.
But she's gonna wait for the older mage's guidance, I think,
Sounds good.
before attacking. Like, she's not gonna just attack out of nowhere, I think. Okay. I'm not sure, like, if that would be seen as, like, as reacting too quickly, reacting in the wrong way, sort of thing.
I think that
This is a very regimented society, so...
I think that having a strange angelic host smash through the window with a flaming sword is probably a good opportunity to act.
Okay, you know what? I will just cast Ray of Frost then.
Okay.
And I do want to try and pick up the remains of that letter and stash them.
You may do so as a bonus action if you're trying to do it stealthily. So make
Okay,
me a sleight
yes.
of hand. All right, Ray of Frost.
Ooh, dirty 20. On sleight of hand.
Sounds good. You'll be able to do that with one hand. Your shielding hand will swoop down and tuck it into the side of your shirt. You'll feel the embers begin to sizzle a little bit against your skin and clothing. I need you to make me a ranged spell attack.
Yeah. Uh, 15.
15 is actually going to be a miss.
Okay.
Your Ray of Frost shoots out and is going to just bank off of the side of this creature's arm. As it does, you are going to see that shackles that have burned their way into his flesh are attached at both his ankles and wrists, as well as one bit of chain hanging around his throat. He uses the ones on his wrist to deflect the blow. All right, Leiden, it's your turn. What do you do?
First thing that Leiden's gonna do is cast Shield of Faith on Claudette. That is a. You said I can only partially act this turn because I'm surprised.
You can basically do movement or an action.
Okay, Shield of Faith is a bonus action.
Yeah,
So,
that'll count as an action for this.
And then, in that case, so I lose my bonus action, but can I still act? I can still do other stuff? I'm just not sure what you're limiting here.
Basically, you can do one thing.
Okay, so I use my bonus action and I
Yeah.
don't get an action or a movement. Okay.
Not until next round.
And that's,
No.
that's what I will do. I will cast
Okay.
Shield of Faith. Claudette's AC is a +2 for the
Does
duration.
that, do you have to
which is-
touch to do that?
Nope, it's 60 feet.
Okay, cool. All right, so casting that, the mist from the orphan's prayer is going to swirl around Claudette, creating a shield around her. It is going to be its turn now. With that, it is going to charge forward, moving preternaturally fast. Its wings taking huge gulps of the air as it flies toward Magus Quarto. And it is going to head directly in front of her and take 2 swings with its sword. That is 1 hit and 1 miss, absolutely. 1 second, please. 17 AC. Yeah, mage armor's not going to help that. Actually, it would help that because she's got no, she's too good for this. Okay, that's 24. He's going to bring down his sword once, and she is going to quickly raise a shield using her reaction. However, that's not going to be enough as the sword cuts right through it, cleaving it aside. That is going to be 11 points of slashing damage plus 13 points of radiant damage for a total of 20. As he tries to pull his sword back for a second attack, though, there is going to be a flash of light as her shield spell erupts outward, knocking his sword to the side and on top of the table. It's fallen out of his hand with that blow. Now we are at Talfrin. Talfrin, the pain in your neck subsides. You suddenly have control of your faculties again. The door behind you is shut. You could leave that way, or you could engage this enemy.
He's not sure who the enemy is.
Ain't that the fun? That's the game,
For
folks.
him, anyway. So currently, he is going to open the door, not leave yet, and he's going to hold an action to attack whomever attacks one of the either Leiden or Claudette.
So you wouldn't be able to move up to them if you were holding your action, though.
I got you, but I have ranged attacks.
Oh, that's true. So yes, you can hold an action to throw a javelin if that's the case.
Absolutely.
Sounds fantastic. All right. So that's going to be your round. Magus Quarto is going to shriek and cast Cone of Cold directly in this guy's face. With a nat 20, he is going to ignore it, taking only a portion of that damage. Jeez, dude. I should roll these dice more often. Okay. That is going to be 25 points of damage because she rolled very poorly. That is going to reduce down to 12. Oh my god, that's not good. Okay. Burst of ice is going to shoot directly into his face. The wings on the tops of his back are going to swoop down, buffeting bits of the ice away from his face. It's going to take more than that. Claudette, it's your turn again at the top of the initiative. What do you do?
Well, I just got this handy dandy new spell. So I'm gonna invoke Blade Song to give myself the better AC. And cast Witch Bolt.
Okay. So what do I have to do for Witch Bolt?
Okay. It is a ranged spell attack.
Okay.
So you actually don't have to do anything.
All right. Don't forget, everybody, that you all have a point of inspiration that you could spend.
Okay, so that is 25 to hit.
That is an absolute hit. Go ahead and roll me damage.
Okay, 1d12.
And what type of damage are you using?
So this is lightning damage
Okay.
on this spell. It's a d12, and it's a con spell now.
Mm-hmm. Because you create a connection and it keeps hitting every turn, right?
Yes, every turn I can use an action to deal the 1d12 lightning damage now.
Okay, so give me the damage. Let's do it.
That's 10 damage.
10 damage. All right. Your lightning is actually going to strike deep into the side of one of his wings, burning away some of the feathers, revealing the bloody, torn meat beneath it. He's going to snarl in pain. Do you have anything else you're doing with your action?
No, because my bonus action was to activate Blade Song.
All right, fair enough. All right.
So I will have to stay within 30 feet of him. If he gets 30 feet away, it breaks.
Okay.
So I am currently...
Then in that case, you may want to move a little closer, just to ensure that you are right on top of that.
Sure.
Okay.
I want to give myself enough space, though, to...
Mm-hmm. All right, Leiden, you are up then. What do you do?
Leiden wants to get closer to Claudette to assist if she can. Oh, how far is that? That's like... so she'll probably move at least towards the tables.
Okay, so rushing forward toward the tables, you can kind of crouch down and take partial cover.
Yeah, she's gonna do that behind one of the chairs.
Okay.
And this way at least she can maybe helpfully potentially flank, sort of. Potentially.
Sounds-
And she's gonna use one of her channel divinities to curse Paths of the Grave.
Mm-hmm.
To mark this enemy whatever thing with wings so that next time me or an ally of mine hits the creature with an attack, the creature has vulnerability to all of that attack's damage, and then the curse ends.
Okay, that sounds fantastic. All right, so
Yeah.
casting that, you are going to see the mist rise out of your hand from your prayer, and for a moment you will actually see the flesh of this creature go translucent, and as you
Yeah.
see its skeleton beneath its skin.
Yeah, spooky.
Yeah.
And then can I do any sort of roll to see what if I know what the hell this thing is, or if
Sure,
it
you
looks
can
like
make me
something I can recognize?
you can make me a religion roll. Yes,
Sure, let's do that. That's gonna be a natural one.
a
It's gonna be
natural
4.
one.
I have no clue.
You're not sure. It kind of looks like you, but evil, or at least dangerous. All right, as you are glancing up, I would like everybody inside of line of sight of this creature to make me a... Oh god, I love these guys. I need everyone here to make me a strength save.
Strength save. Okay.
Strength save, yes. Quarto fails.
How's a 6?
A 6 is not good.
Unnatural 20.
10.
10? All right.
I don't add anything to strength saves.
Okay. Would you get? You said, Christine, you got a 10?
Yep.
Does Shield of Faith only doesn't do anything for that, right?
It only helps with AC. It gives her a
My
plus 2
AC
to
is 21.
Her AC is super good.
Unfortunately, that's not going to apply. Everything within line of sight, he is going to shout, "Enough!" And his skin is going to begin to glow with a seraphic radiance that's going to explode across the room. Everyone here is going to take, that is going to be 18 points of radiant damage. Unless
Is that
you
a spell effect?
It is a... No, it is a...
It's just a save.
It's just a save action, yeah.
Shit. So shield wouldn't even work on that.
Shield would not work on that, no. If you succeeded, Talfrin, you did succeed. So you're going to take half of that. So that's going to be 9 points of damage. If you failed, you are knocked prone by this. Okay, and that is... he is going to use his
How much damage was that total?
18.
18.
He is going to use his interact action to grab his sword, which is laying in the middle of the table. However, that is going to necessitate him moving... Yeah, so he's going to have to climb up onto the table to grab it. At which point, Talfrin, it is your turn. What do you do? When that light went off, would you have reacted by throwing something, by the way?
Oh, I guess.
Because you did have a held reaction.
I did. And I know that with held reactions you can choose not to. Would he have?
It
He
seemed
probably would have been too stunned. It did
Okay.
seem hostile towards everybody. However, I think it's just because we're getting in his way, and I'm still not sure who the enemy is.
okay. So at this point,
Oh
this
God.
this is particularly not good. Double plus, not good. What do you do?
Sorry.
It's okay. The creature climbs up onto the table to grab the somewhat simmering, smoldering greatsword that is plunged, its blade piercing the center of the table where it sticks out. He goes and grabs it and begins to pull it out, once again to continue his onslaught on, at the very least, Quarto. But he doesn't seem like he cares at this moment who he hurts. What do you do?
All right. I will. All right. I will rage. I will rage.
Okay.
I will, and then I will go towards him, I suppose,
Sounds
as far as I can,
okay.
and then I guess throw a javelin because I won't be able to make it to him. He's too far across the room.
Well, we don't know that 100% for sure at the moment.
I guess so. Seems like though.
It seems like, yes. But you never know when Talfrin rages.
Oh, that's absolutely true. Okay.
One moment.
Should I use the standard?
Yes.
Okay.
And I can't find my copy of Tasha's at the moment. It's somewhere.
That's okay.
So-
I got an 8.
Okay, remind me what 8 does.
Yeah, I'm just looking it up. Sorry.
That's okay.
A bolt of light shoots from your chest. Another creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet feet of you must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d6 radiant damage and be blinded until the start of your next turn.
Okay, so you could do this as you are rushing forward. Who are you targeting?
I'm actually going to target her.
Okay, so what kind of con save is that?
Just a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, what I mean, sorry, what's my DC?
Oh, DC is going to be... Wow, I haven't had to do this. 8 plus my proficiency bonus and plus my Constitution modifier.
I'm going to use a hurt them more to let her roll that again.
Absolutely.
Okay, what is my what is my total?
DC is 14.
Oh, son of a bitch, I got a 13.
Okay.
Okay, I need you to roll me that damage, please.
I will. Yeah, I'm gonna fight this on both sides, I guess. I got it. I got a 1. I got a 1.
You got a 1?
I got a 1.
Okay. A bolt of
You know what?
energy.
Actually, can I only use my determination on
Only on D20s.
bolts? Okay.
So,
Never mind.
a bolt of light is going to shine out of your chest, striking her directly across the eyes. She is going to scream. She's not going to drop yet. She is devastatingly wounded at this point. What do you do with your action?
yikes.
You've bonus actioned. You've done your Care Bear stare.
Care Bear stare. Yeah, I'm going to try to move up
Okay.
and to... Oh, I guess I can do that, can't I? Well, to get across the table, I would have to go around it, right?
You can go over. You can jump up on the table.
Oh, I can jump. I suppose that is something you can do. I'm going to jump up on the table. I'm going to
If-
get as close to him as possible, I suppose.
Okay. That sounds fantastic. All right. So jumping up on the table, you can actually, you find yourself leavened by the motion and can actually get within about 5 feet of him.
Whoa! I'm going to take a swipe at him.
Sure. Go ahead. Make me an attack roll.
All right. Oh. I want to invoke Lucky.
Okay. That sounds good. You know you can spend lucky because you have the feat, right?
Yeah.
You can spend it to make me re-roll saves too, right?
Oh, I forgot.
I mean,
Yeah,
I failed
took-
my
I took
save,
Lucky
so...
first. That's true.
Oh,
All right.
I forgot. I did manage my con save. I forgot about it and then just did it.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you.
So that absolutely did not work. That's
What'd you
gonna
get?
be a 12.
A 12, and that's with your bonus from raging?
Oh, that's gonna be a 14.
Or wait, no, the bonus to raging only goes to damage. Never mind. What am I
Oh.
thinking? I was thinking.
Okay,
I always
that's-
keep thinking Pathfinder because I keep going back to Pathfinder mode.
And
Okay,
I
so
didn't
and-
take Great Sword Master even. So,
oh, you didn't. You
because
took
I
lucky
forgot.
instead.
Well, no, I did. I took it, but I didn't use it. But
Oh, okay.
that would have been even worse. So.
It would have been even worse. And you spent lucky and it still didn't work?
And it still didn't work.
Okay,
So, it
so-
wasn't meant to be.
Rushing forward, you slam your greatsword into the side of the table, kind of interposing yourself between the two combatants, kind of at the edge of the table, kind of slam your blade.
Real
kind of.
confused.
What's that?
I'm
You
just real confused.
Okay, so that's Talfrin. So she is blinded, and yeah, she is going to do the only thing she can, and she's going to cast Greater Indivisibility. So she is going to vanish from existence as she clutches her weeping eyes and calls out to magic, vanishing from in front of you. Claudette, what do you do?
Well, I'm gonna kind of get myself up off the ground.
Okay, that'll take half your movement.
Okay. And I think I'll. Well, I mean, okay. So Witch Bolt will do
Do
would
D12
do damage again.
if you want it to. Yeah, absolutely.
I might hold off and just wait and see what the hell's happening, because she's just disappeared. So if he keeps attacking us, but I don't want to accidentally hit her with a area of effect spell or something, so I think I'll just hold off.
Okay, sounds good. So
I'm not sure what to do. This is not very clear cut.
you'll hold that action. Leodin, what do you do?
So Leon's gonna use her movement, or have her movement, to stand up off the ground, and then is it going to attempt to cast Hold Person on the remaining opponent that she sees.
Sounds fantastic. What
Yeah.
is his
Your
save?
save is 15. I assume you'll probably beat it, but she's trying.
This is a will save?
This is a wisdom save.
Okay, that's going to be a hurt them more.
Yeah,
And
so
that's
I'll
gonna
hold
be a
the
success.
Witch Bolt.
Okay, so in that case, yeah, it's does not succeed at, like, wispy tendrils will reach out to grab and restrain,
No.
but fail to do so.
So if he attacks me or Leodin, that Witch Bolt is going to hit him again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
Since that was a concentration spell I tried to cast there, it means that my spell, my Shield of Faith on Claudette has vanished, though.
okay. Sounds good. Claudette, the mist around you parts suddenly. The creature in front of you is going to draw his blade out of the table where it is impacted, and he's gonna take a swing at the empty space where the magus was a second ago. So here we go. That is gonna be not enough because she would have moved. All right, he brings his blade down, cutting the chair in half that she was sitting in just a moment ago. If I have to, I'll burn this entire place down. And as he says that, you see his eyes begin to glow with that radiant light again. It looks like he's recharging. Talfrin, what do you do? He's directly in front of you, just off the side of the table where your blade is embedded in the old, shining, gilded wood.
All right, well, let's have the blade up and swing it at him again.
All right, go ahead. And I believe your
and-
radiance goes off again, doesn't it?
It does. Now, I think I have to choose the target every single time,
I believe so, yes.
so I can't see her anymore. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it does say that you can see.
Okay.
So, I'm going to have to choose him.
Okay.
Not a bad thing.
Okay, and this is a con save?
Con save, yeah.
10.
A 10. Ooh, nice. I rolled a 4
You rolled a 4.
for damage.
The light is going to shine directly in his eyes, and you can see that the light runs off of his flesh like water. But that doesn't mean the brightness isn't dazzling to him. He suddenly clutches at his eyes with one hand. You don't think that attack damaged him at all, but you do think that at this moment you have a very lucky chance. You may attack with advantage.
Ooh, all right. Let's go. Oh, you know what? If I'm attacking with advantage, And I think that I have the upper hand. I'm going to use Great Weapon Master.
I think you probably should.
Okay.
Here comes that
Ooh.
20.
Okay. No. I got 19 though.
19 after your -5?
Oh. Hold on. I actually have to do my math properly. A 16, actually.
A 16 is a hit.
Ooh, is it?
It's a hit if with all your minuses. If that's what it is, it's a hit.
It is.
That is going to be a hit. -5 plus 10. So I need you to give me a D12 plus 10 plus your strength plus your rage.
Ba-ding.
So I believe that's a D12 plus 17.
It's 25.
25 total?
Yep.
All... Damn, son. You are going to raise your blade. How are you slashing? Just directly across the body? Across the face? Where are you aiming?
If he's hefting it up from the table, he's not actually going to take time to swing it again, probably. He's probably just going to thrust it.
You are going to feel the sound of ribs smashing and shattering as you thrust in. Leiden, do you consider... Oh, wait. Ooh, that's actually a really good question. I'm gonna say that this is what takes the Leiden's ability, not your radiant bolt. Because do you still have that spell up, Leiden?
No.
The touch by the grave?
Oh, yes, it does. Sorry, I forgot about that. It's not a spell, it's just an ability in effect, so I don't have it written down.
So I'm going to say that doesn't work for the it doesn't work for the initial blast, like the just in sequence of events. I think this is actually going to work for the stab more than anything. So that is going to be 50 points of damage in that case, because he is vulnerable to that hit.
Oh.
Thanks to Leiden's attack.
Wow.
You are going to stab directly into the center of his mass, and you are going to feel the sound of ribs and muscle tearing as your blade twists and pulls out as a gout of bright blood sprays directly in your face.
Right.
The Magus is going to quaff a potion. And cool. That is her bonus action. And the blindness lasts until the end of your turn.
Oh, what a good question.
What does it say in the rules?
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, start of my next turn.
Start of your next turn?
Yeah.
Okay, she is going to cast that. And then... Actually, he's going to cast Misty Step. You'll see her, like, suddenly appear for a moment over here by this blue seeing mirror over on the eastern wall, and whoosh, is just going to vanish in a puff of mist immediately. Get out while you can, she'll say, her voice echoing in the stillness. Claudette, it's your turn. What do you do?
Well, that's basically an order from a superior. So, GTFO time.
I mean, it looks like she left you here.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Try and get out?
Sure, you can try to head toward the door. It looks
I'll
like
back towards
Talfrin's...
the door, but I'm going to use the action to hit Witch Bolt again.
Okay, go ahead and roll me damage.
9.
Okay. As your Witch Bolt strikes, the creature is going to stumble back and he is going to fall down to one of his knees. You can see a hole in his chest slowly beginning to seal up around Talfrin's blade. Inside, you can see his heart is pouring blood as it throbs through that empty hole. You can see behind it some of the tissue of his lungs convulsing, trying to suck in air from that blow. That was a visceral attack that Talfrin just dealt. almost ripped him in half. Your witch bolt strikes him, and he's reaches down, trying to hold himself up. The blade in his hand stuck in between the stones of this room, the tiles, like a walking stick. Leiden, it's your turn. What do you do?
I would like to spend my action to unleash my wings and gain so that I can have a flying speed.
Okay.
So that we can, and then she'll motion to Claudette and Talfrin and be like, "This way." Yeah, that's pretty much it, because it takes a full action. And she still wants to figure out what the hell this thing is. Can I do another roll for religion to see if she knows what this thing is?
Sure. You may do so at disadvantage, though, because of your nat 1.
Ah, I am even less sure of what it is now. Cool. That's cool. I'll just grab some other dice out. Well, actually, surprisingly good. It's gonna be a 19.
This is nothing you've seen before. And I mean that. You are a scholar of religion. You are a scholar of celestial and infernal beings.
Yeah.
Looking at this, you would say that this looks similar to a deva, or to one of the lesser cherubim or seraphim, but it's not.
Yeah.
For one, those creatures don't really have organs. This is an Asimar, an Empyrean? Whatever this is mortal.
Weird.
This is definitely weird. In fact, looking at the body, it looks like some of these body parts are fused on. That's what you will notice.
Right.
The angel is going to spend his action to disengage from Talfrin. Is going to leap back, look you in the eyes as his vision kind of blurs. You're a slave too. Don't do this. He casts a baleful look around the room. We'll meet again. And with that, he is going to take flight and is going to fly out the other window, crashing through the stained glass. Because he has a hell of a fly speed. Damn, he has a good fly speed. He's going to fly out of the room, leaving you there. The battle has ended. What do you do?
Let's get out of here.
We have to go.
Yeah, right. Expressway? And she points at the window.
How high is it? What floor are we on?
You are on the 8th story.
I figure I can probably carry
I
one
won't
person,
survive.
maybe.
I will just book it through. I absolutely cannot jump out that window.
So Claudette's not sure if the mage is still there.
You are pretty sure you recognize Misty Step.
Okay. What? Okay. This is a player trying to go. What would Claudette be thinking is a likely outcome from this?
I mean, you survived an assault by an assailant. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, so I'm thinking this is not something she needs to run from, per se. She's not at fault. She helped. She drove it off. Whatever it is.
But the mages seemed to be about to attack us or do something to us when we arrived.
The mages seem to be about to attack Talfrin.
True.
So
Yes.
Talfrin is booking it out the door, regardless.
In
of whatever
Claudette's
she
mind
does.
is that they had no way of knowing Talfrin was an escaped slave. They just hired some random that they'd met as a bodyguard because he seemed kind of tough.
Right.
Right? So I don't think Claudette's going to react that way. I think she'll react with mercy for Talfrin.
Yeah. Leiden's very much pressuring us that we need to get moving right now
So
because
Claudette is going to intercept Talfrin really quick and say, "Here, go out the window. It's quicker. Featherfall."
Oh, okay.
By the way, Featherfall affects a group, Christine.
I know.
Okay, I'm just letting you know that it could affect all of you.
Yeah, but I don't see any reason for us to
Sure.
flee. Right?
Sure.
Like, we haven't done anything wrong.
Claudette, you do realize that they're probably not gonna care that we didn't know he was a slave. And the Magus just got attacked. This looks really bad for us. We have to
Why?
go.
You hear
We
the sound
saved
of...
her life.
You hear the...
Talfrin's gonna say, he's just gonna say before he runs out the window, jumps out the window, he's gonna, thank you, I'll meet you where you know where. I'm just like,
You hear the sound of boot falls running down the hallway.
They're
Guard
going
armor.
to blame us. We have to go.
5, 4.
I
3.
can't make a decision on this because I don't think Claudette would. She's not going to think it's a bad thing. She didn't do anything wrong.
Then don't make the decision.
Yeah. Then if Claudette stays and insists on not leaving, Leden's gonna stay. She will. She'll just be like, fuck, fine! We're staying!
The doors are going to swing open, and suddenly you're going to be seeing 4 Imperial guardsmen armed with their muskets
This
and
thing
bayonets.
just came through the windows. It's gone off out that way.
Get out the door! Get out the door!
Okay. And Leden's making sure she's in front of Claudette too.
And
Are your
Claudette's
wings
gonna
still
call,
out?
Magus Quarto
Yep.
up. Misty stepped out of the room. I don't know where she is.
Probably in her safe room. Are you all right?
I think we managed to injure it, but it burst in one window and then burst out another. It said something about...
Clear the scene. Clear. Go, go, go. The commander says to his
He'll go.
inferior officers. Where's the other one that was with you?
He ran out. He jumped out the window.
The idiot chased it?
I don't know. We just met him the other day, and he was just providing some bodyguard
Ma'am,
work
get out in the
up here.
hallway now, both of you.
Of course.
Claudette's going.
Yeah.
He keeps asking her questions, so she keeps responding.
They secure the room, leaving you in the hallway. Talfrin, leaping out the window, you float gently to a nearby rooftop. A 3rd floor gambling hall.
nice.
Just off the side here. Over to your right, you can see a bathhouse.
Nice.
Just on the other side. As well as you're floating down, you'll get quite an eyeful and will hear several shrieks of young, what's the word I'm thinking of? Co-eds? Young co-eds shrieking and covering themselves up with towels as you float down.
Nice.
Sorry.
Sorry.
It's a Talfrin thing. Talfrin, you land on top of the gambling hall. As that happens, you are going to see men with guns hit the window. They might be pointing them at you before long.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I have no idea who they're pointing it at. I'm going to try. Is there like a nearby tree that I can go down? I'm pretty adept at climbing out of windows.
There are no
8
nearby
floors is a bit
trees.
much.
You're 3 floors up. If you're running around, there is a good old expressway awning just around the front of this casino.
All right, let's rock. Let's go. We're
All
gonna
right,
run
can you make me an
towards that.
acrobatics roll?
I'll do my best.
And I'm gonna roll structural stability for the awning. Oh,
Perfect. All right, I'm gonna do lucky again.
okay.
Okay. Acrobatics is dex, so that's gonna be actually a 19.
A 19, you are going to leap off the roof, doing a tuck and flip, and are going to actually land directly ass down onto the awning, which is the sturdiest awning you've ever seen in your life. It actually trampolines you up, over, and onto the back of a merchant cart that
Damn.
is transporting fresh produce and chickens further into the city.
All right. Is it? Ooh. Navigationally, is it the way I want to go back to the inn?
Make me a survival roll.
Hmm.
You're a little out of sorts right now.
Oh, I absolutely don't know. That is a 3.
A 3.
Just a yeah.
You
straight
have
3.
no idea, but in the
No clue.
distance, you will hear a gunshot echo. You're not sure if you're being shot at, but do you want to put your head down?
I do.
Okay. Ducking down among the chickens, you'll hear... A duck looks you right in the eyes. Make me an animal handling roll to stay stealthy inside of here.
Okay. Oh, a nat 20.
All right, so
One of
Oh
them
my
perches
god,
on your head.
that's where it comes up. Good.
what's going on back there? The driver says, looking backwards right as a duck sits on your head. Quack. Oh, you be quiet there, Horace. Quack, 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 quack. You swear the duck winks at you. And your cart begins to roll off further into town. Meanwhile, back up in the building, you, Leiden, and Claudette find yourselves surrounded by these guards.
Yeah.
A few
Leiden's-
more have arrived, and they're giving you a little bit of breathing space, but they are basically back-to-back bodyguarding you right now.
Yeah, Leiden's wings will vanish after a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is everyone all right? You're all fine? One of the guards says, looking over at you.
Completely fine.
A little singed, but all right. She probably does look a bit burned and like hurt because I do have 18 points of damage on me. So that's like half my.
Leiden's
health.
gonna give you take a moment to heal you.
Come with
And
me.
herself, actually.
Quickly.
Of course.
We have medical care. Come.
Oh, thank you.
They take you into a side room that locks behind you. And in fact, as they head into it, you see that two of the soldiers each have to use a key, simultaneously turning to open the door. Get in. The room has a vaulted ceiling. The walls are stark gray and thick. And as soon as you enter, you will feel something crackle around you. Wards and symbols will suddenly erupt on the wall. And you'll feel any magical effects you have die as soon as you cross the threshold.
Was I able to smack Claudette with a healing before we entered?
Yes, go ahead.
I rolled a 1 on my D8, so it's not much, but...
Okay, so that's going to be 1 plus your...
Yeah, 1 sec. Spellcasting ability, 1 plus... 6 points total. Heal
6
6 points. Yep.
All right, Claudette, you'll heal 6 points of damage. Stay in here.
Of course.
The cleric will be on their way. In the meanwhile, here. And he'll hand each of you a small vial of red fluid.
What's this? Potion?
Healing.
Okay.
Thank you.
No one should be able to teleport inside of here with the wards up. Isn't that right, Magus Quarto? That is correct. You hear behind you as Magus Quarto, still bleeding from a wound on her chest, reaches down and pulls another potion from the bandolier on her hip and drinks it. This room is not very large, about 30 feet deep by about 15 feet wide. There are several places to sit around the room, old, ruffled blue chairs with deep cushions.
Leiden will toss back the potion then.
Okay. You are going to heal 9 points of damage.
Claudette will also.
You are going to heal 9 points of damage.
Okay.
Did you know? You can go now, soldier. She says. The soldiers will nod, turn, and lock the door behind them. Did you know
No, what?
that you were traveling with an escaped slave?
No.
No.
We met him on the train here. He was useful when we encountered a blockage on the track. And since we'd gotten to know him a little,
They're
I
tricky.
figured cheap protection on a walk through an unfamiliar city. He seemed down on his luck by quite a bit, so...
You are quite resourceful, the two of you.
I try?
Thanks.
I have a mission for you.
Okay.
You're an Imperial Magus now. And you're a cleric. You saw that abomination.
What? Wait, is that one of the escape Imperial science experiments?
Not an experiment of the Imperial Science Division.
Oh.
An experiment of a rogue alchemist. That man's name was once Auric Exodeus. He was a soldier. A good one. There's a woman in the town of Cordest, or in the Cordest region. We've sent a few of our soldiers there to clear it out, but presently I've been waiting for someone skilled to go and take care of it. I believe I found someone. Do this, and I will pay you the correct fee for an Imperial Magus of your rating.
Of course.
900 pieces.
She won't even blink. She would know what the appropriate ratings are. I'm imagining.
She says that mostly for lead-in's sake, you think?
Yeah.
You'll receive half up front for expenses and for hiring hirelings.
Of course.
There's a woman, Dr. Oetker. I want her head.
How'd you spell that?
That is a great question from like 3 weeks ago. One sec. Dr. Oetker is in game 1. Sorry, my fingers aren't working today.
I have it spelled O-C-H-R-E, but that might be wrong.
That is absolutely wrong.
Awesome! Awesome, Robin. Good note. Oh, nope.
That is
O-T-K-E-R?
Otker. Yeah. Oriana Oetker.
Okay. I was thinking of it with an E in there.
Yeah. Dr. Oetker, I want her head, and I don't mean this. I don't mean it euphemistically.
So we will cut off and bring back her head.
Sopping, wet, and dead.
Messy, but I can understand.
If you manage to kill Auric, I'll make sure there's a bonus.
Well, we seemed quite close in the room. He certainly seemed hurt. So lightning does work. Also, that big-ass sword seemed to work very well, too.
Yes.
Noted.
Your uncle writes very highly of you.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry that you were so deeply deceived by that vermin. I'm gonna give you a present. Come to me.
I'd be honored. I feel like my uncle speaks too highly at times. I'm not very experienced yet.
He's gonna push Claudette forward. Subtly.
Innocence, innocence, innocence.
Give me your hand.
She'll hold out her right hand.
She grabs you harshly by the wrist, reaches down into her side, pulls out a rough stone athame, and slashes your palm open, cutting deeply into the flesh. A rune. Your blood spills on the floor.
I would like to think that Claudette doesn't flinch, but maybe blinks at it.
Varut. La fan. Tiato. As she says that, the glyph in your hand begins to glow. The rune begins to scarify over. Until you only have a faint line in the center of your palm. One of the old runes, shaped vaguely like like a 5-pointed star.
Do I have any idea what it does?
You recognize that she has the same mark on her hand, the hand that she raised when she called Talfrin out for being a slave.
Oh, shit.
You are a master. Master those beneath you. All you have to do is see the brand. You'll know the rest.
She'll react appropriately grateful, I guess.
Okay. Instinctively, what this means is that if you can see someone with slave brands, you can inflict disadvantage on them.
Okay.
You can reduce their speed to 0, or you can inflict a D10 of psychic damage to them as a bonus action. One of those 3 things.
Okay. I will have to
Yep.
write that down in a minute. Okay. Do I know anything else about these sort of like controlling runes? Is it possible to undo a slave brand?
Not with entry-level magic.
Good to
Yes.
know. But do I know?
Imperial Grand Maguses can place them and remove them. Absolutely.
Okay.
This is the old magic.
Okay.
The magic that is actually from an ancient runic empire to the north. A land now known as Orkesh.
So Christine's not quite sure how to word it, but Claudette's going to basically ask, if I'm able to come across the slave again, am I able to bind him to my service?
Yes.
Would that be acceptable to the Empire?
Waste
asking a
not,
senior
want
mage?
not. It seemed like he was very fond of you. He came to your aid before I was blinded by that beast.
That was my thought, that he would probably try and get in contact with me again.
It seems like he tried to intervene. So long as he is bound to your service, I see no problem in you keeping a pet.
Noted. He was an exceptional fighter when I met him.
Make certain that he does not find you in the night.
That is what I have Leodin for. She's pulled on like the entire noble persona at the moment. Like snooty language, the whole lot.
Can you, Can you
Nita's
give me...
biting her damn tongue.
Can you give me a deception roll? Or a persuasion roll? I'll allow you to do either because of your background.
I would like persuasion, please.
Sure.
Should I also do that?
Proficiency in that.
No, but if you are holding your tongue like a good servant of the Empire, you can basically assist Christine and give her advantage.
Cool. That's what she's trying to do.
Okay. Ha! So I didn't say anything.
Okay.
I had already rolled a nat 20.
Okay.
But that advantage gave me a second nat 20.
That's ridiculous.
So 24
You
total.
got two double nat 20s.
Yep.
She will look over at you and then over at Leiden. Would
Leiden
you
is
also,
my agent.
Then would you like to master them as well?
I don't know if that's appropriate for an agent.
Perhaps
As
if you return successfully from Cordist.
As the mage's desires.
You'll need equipment. Feel free to head down to the armory.
Wonderful. Thank you.
They should be expecting your requisitions. And as you leave, head toward the room, they will open at a swing of her hand. And behind you as you exit, you will see a cruel smirk pass over her lips. Meanwhile, across town, those of you who are with Zete, where are you headed? What are you doing? Zete wanders away from the dead body, heading further into the town. He looks back at you, his skin finally his natural green. Well, y'all want a drink? I could use a drink before the soldiers show up.
I can always go for a drink.
Yes, a drink. Sounds great.
In the distance, you can hear a raucous tavern playing lively halfling dance music. Well, it'll do. Heading over to it, you can see that there's a place called the Long Feather. And indeed, the sign of this tavern is a tri-corner hat with an immense feather hanging out of it. Heading inside, you can see that there are, it's a small place, actually. A narrow room, about 7 feet tall, and about a dozen feet deep. It's more like an alleyway bar than anything, but even inside of that, it's confined, about 15 feet wide at the thickest point. And there are a good dozen halflings in here, aside from the ones who are at the bar. As Zete and the rest of you head in, he ducks down to not hit himself on the sign that is hanging well under 7 feet. Y'all got beer or sarsaparilla? The bartender, a small halfling man in his prime of his life, will look over at you and... I'll have to get the big tables. Well, most of the big chairs. We'll sidle up to the bar. He waves over at the three of you and Zete.
What do halflings like to drink the most?
About anything. Halflings are pretty lusty. I'd say that they are probably the biggest fans of just kind of casual beer culture.
I'll say ales. I feel like definitely.
Definitely ales, but probably IPAs too. Like I think they're just happy for anything that goes well with a meal. They're not the type of people who like. I feel that halflings are the type that if it goes as a compliment to like some chicken wings, they'd enjoy it. Or something that you would serve at a family gathering. You know?
Okay, cool.
They're big family people and big party people.
All right. Let's have a drink.
Absolutely. My name's Webb. I'm the proprietor of this establishment. Welcome to the Long Feather. What can I get for you? We have a number of ales on tap, as well as a couple of local wines from the south, and we even have a really lovely porter coming to us from the north, from Toulouse, actually.
Oh. Well, I might take the Toulousian porter. And do you have any spirits as well?
I could probably find some. Absolutely. It depends what you're looking for. Right now, the hardest thing we have is, aside from some vodka that honestly I wouldn't advise it. We mostly use it for cleaning. Would be we have some bourbon.
Perfect. I'll take some of that as well, please.
I'll take 2 fingers. 2 of my fingers.
I'll take 2 of his fingers too.
If you're sure about that, lady.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And as for you, sir and ma'am.
What's your best beer?
Well, I mean, it's a gold brewer porter, so it's going to be pretty good. It's very hoppy. No, pardon me, it's very malty, and has a really, really smooth aftertaste to it. I'd really suggest it. Besides that, though, we do have a red ale that comes directly from the north. You might like it. It's pretty meaty. In fact, there's actually meat in it, but if you're a vegetarian, there's no meat in it.
I'll have that. Yes, that sounds great. Thank you.
I'll have just a beer. I'll have one of those too. Dirk says. All right, coming right away. So on the table, that is going to be. I've got it. Zete says, putting down a gold coin. And any meat you got on you, potatoes too, if they're handy. Absolutely. Webb reaches behind him and ding, 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 ding on the food bell. A slot opens up in one of the side walls, and you can hear a voice coming down this tube. Order up! He reaches over and says into it, in halfling, which basically translates as your order. You hear the sound of boots overhead. Seems like the kitchen is actually directly above your head, about 7 feet up. He begins pulling your drinks for you, sliding them across the bar. This bourbon is very smooth, it has that kind of... Honestly, it has this slightly corny aftertaste to it that reminds you of this person that you kissed in high school. It kind of reminds you of the inside of their mouth. Like that taste of breath. It's just this kind of like, I remember that taste. That's interesting. And the chat got weirded out by that. Like, you've never tasted breath like that. Come on. Kiss more people. After the pandemic. After the pandemic. After the pandemic.
Get vaccinated, then kiss people.
Yeah, kiss everybody after.
Oh, totally.
Make sure that they're vaccinated, though, because that's
And
important.
make sure they consent.
And that, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, both have to be. Anyway.
All right. And with that, he will go and start preparing your meal. Zete will gently sip his bourbon and keep making this kind of face as he drinks it, like... Yep, not a fan.
Oh, it's not so bad.
I guess I'm glad I didn't order that then.
Yeah, it's fine, I guess, but it's not really, I don't like to drink when I got stuff on my mind, but I figure that got two options. Either the constabulary is going to say that was self-defense, or they're going to be busting down in a second, in which case I need to go pick up some more sun-dried peach for my disguise kit. I always
What was
thought I
that,
was
Zeke?
more of a burnt mango, but
Yeah, with all the shades. Who knows what you really are, right?
yeah.
I think the green's suiting.
Well, it's hard to get through certain places looking green. The Empire don't like it too much, but
Yeah.
It's not easy.
no, it's not. So what do you want?
Well, just curious who you killed for this gun that I'm guessing belongs to you. That was stolen from you? Just curious to hear your stories.
I was traveling across I was traveling across Emrys, doing some jobs. Not of the legal variety necessarily. I got in with a crew that I thought was reputable. Middle of the night one night, girl there tries to take my guns, leave me for dead. She and her partner. They split up after that. They got my guns. I got this. He hikes up his shirt and shows you a rather wicked, jagged scar along his ribs. And I've had to spend the last year hunting them down.
Well, congratulations, I guess, are in order. You're quite a good shot.
I'm practicing. I start with tin cans, work my way up.
I'm looking forward to practicing some more.
Hold your breath. I mean, literally hold your breath. It's between shots. Pull the trigger between heartbeats.
Oh. Oh, that's good to know. I haven't really used a firearm too much.
Well,
Just the one time on the train.
Don't do it when you're trying to be stealthy.
No, that makes sense, yeah. I was able to get one, so I actually have one myself now, too.
Yeah, well. Where are you all headed?
South, I think.
Yes. I'm heading down to Cordis.
And I have some business along the way, so... Guess we'll see what the rest of the group is doing as well, and we'll see what happens then.
You seem like decently reputable people. So I hate to involve you in this. But have y'all heard of someone going by the name Maconidus?
Have I?
It doesn't sound familiar, but you can make me a history roll to see if you would know.
Cool.
Nat 20.
And I got a 22.
Oh, damn.
Natural 19 on that one.
Of course I got a nat 20 on that.
So, very briefly, you did hear a story that over in... actually, it was from your parents that you would have heard about this. That over in the northern reaches, one of the extended provinces, up actually in... Let my map load because I can remind myself because it's been a while. Up in Astaria near Torbani, there was a cleric named Maconidus, cleric of the Golden Star, trying to start a little church up there. Your
How do you
parents...
spell that?
Maconidus?
Yeah.
Makhandidas.
IDAS. Okay. And what was the church?
The cleric of the Golden Star.
Oh, I'm familiar with the name. I've heard of Maconidus anyways, and how popular of a name can it really be?
Not terribly.
My parents were telling... I heard about my parents, a cleric named Maconidus setting up a church, the Golden Star, up in Torbani, actually.
That'd be the one.
What
All
business do you have?
Excuse me?
I said, what business do you have with that? You're asking if we heard of the name.
Well, I'm looking for him. I need to have words with him about some private matters.
Similar words you had with your friend over yonder?
Hopefully not. Also, Robin, you're coming in kind of quiet.
Oh, okay. I can turn that up.
I think it's because at sound test you were using your voice, not Ivy's voice.
Ivy's voice, yeah.
That'll do it, yeah.
But down low and sultry.
Well, hopefully, I'm
Better.
just wondering if the chat can actually hear it.
Oh. I can also move my mic a little closer. I think.
Yeah, let's do that.
Farther. All right. How is that? Is that better? A
Yeah,
little
it's-
louder?
You're nearing yellow finally, so that's good.
Okay.
Hopefully not. I prefer he be alive after this.
Fair. Yeah. That was the last I heard of it, and that was a while ago, so.
Well, they sure are pretty. Dirk says, kind of glancing over Ivy's shoulder. Zeke kind of looks over and is kind of getting that look like he's not sure if Dirk's staring at his guns or down Ivy's shirt. What are?
Does Ivy notice? If she looks back, does she notice? Dirk?
Yeah, you can make me an insight roll.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, let's see which one it is.
Insight. 15.
15? I mean, mostly column A, but a little bit of column B now that you turn, they kind of push together, and he's... The guns are, they're sure nice. Just thought the good craftsmanship. Yep, he's gonna say and just take a drink.
Ivy's gonna, like, give Dirk, like, a little bit of a... No. Dirk, you mind his guns?
Just, they're nice. They're I don't know, they're real artsy looking. I've just never seen metal like that. You probably aren't likely to either. It's old stuff. You said it was a family heirloom? Yeah, more or less. What are you two doing as this silence kind of permeates the room, Very and Ivy? You guys talking about anything, doing anything, or am I just gonna have a conversation with myself all night?
No.
Because I can do it. I'm just trying to, like...
I'm trying to figure out, timing-wise, I think Ivy's probably wondering, because I forget, it's been a couple weeks. Did we
Sure.
say a time that we were going to meet up back as, like, a group?
I think later
I know.
that night.
Later that night.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna meet up
okay.
for dinner.
Okay, so
And-
then,
and
yeah.
what time is it now?
Right now? I think it was pretty early. I think it was probably about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, sounds good. So we still have another couple hours before dinner then.
As
Yeah.
the silence permeates, you are going to hear a chunk, ding, ding, ding. And Webb is going to open a little slot in the wall and pull out what looks like a dumbwaiter worth of meat and potatoes and serve it up to y'all.
Ooh.
I go, and can I get some sarsaparilla or water or root beer or something that isn't this bourbon? Is there something wrong with the bourbon? I don't like to drink when I don't have a good reason. And he's gonna dump the bourbon into Very's cup.
Oh, really? Ooh.
Sure, you're big enough. Okay, I'm gonna need a Constitution save from Very,
Coming right up.
Oh,
and I'm gonna give you disadvantage where it hurt them more.
You got it.
All right.
Not that your disadvantage made too much of an issue. That's going to be a 17 on the low end.
Okay, so you're definitely tipsy though. Drinking
makes sense.
four fingers worth of bourbon. Yeah, that's gonna start to hit you because that was on an empty stomach.
Yeah. Oh God, it was.
It was like so you're not gonna be wasted, but you definitely are gonna be a little swimmy for a second before that food hits.
I mean, that was pretty stressful coming into that fight. I honestly thought I killed you. See, I'm sorry for distracting you.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't want it to come to bullets, but apparently It was.
Yeah, why'd
Yeah,
you
but
try to
that's-
distract me anyway?
I was trying to break up the fight.
Why the hell would you do that? It was a good fight.
Oh, it looked
Because-
fantastic.
Thank you.
That shot was perfect.
That
Thank
was
you.
impressive. You're quite a gunslinger.
You know, if the name fits.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I'm just happy to get him back. Oh, feels like I've got both arms again.
So very, you're.
Mhm.
We've just had a few moments to talk on the train, but your family's into astronomy.
Oh yes, my family's actually the, they're in charge of the, wow, that bourbon's hitting me a bit more than I thought it was, than I thought it would.
Here,
But,
eat
potato.
some potatoes.
Meow, meow, meow. But oh yes, parents, yes. So they actually do all of the sky maps and like star charts for the Empire. They do. They are the ones who work out navigation routes for sky ships, and for military applications as well, especially the Navy. That's actually why I grew up on the Asia Naval Base.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's actually really interesting, and I've always really liked space and stuff. I mean, I'm named after space, so
Yes. that's quite an interesting story.
yeah.
So
my
you're here to
my family's
fix the-
really interesting.
Telescope?
Yes, there's a telescope just to the south of here, and it went out of alignment, and they can't use it anymore because of that, and so they need it fixed. And so
Talfrin? Dirk
Talfrin!
says, looking out the door, and you're going to see Talfrin, like, riding in the back of a cart full of chickens. With a duck on his head, kind of just going by. Talfrin, you're going to see Dirk sitting in a little halfling dive bar.
Oh, I do see him. Okay.
Yeah,
What?
when he
Why
says
does
your
Talfrin
name.
have a duck? Barry's gonna wave at him to come inside.
Yeah.
All right. He's gonna shoo the duck off and jump out, being as quiet as he can, obviously. But
Telfrin.
What-
Come
what-
sit.
hey,
Oh, we're
Hey,
going
how
to need
you
another
doing?
big
Just
stool
gonna-
over here.
Ivy will kind of shift a little closer to like one side of Dirk to leave room for the other side, but she'll get closer, a little closer to Dirk as she drinks.
Okay. He's... Cheers on the beer.
And Barry's gonna hold her glass that still has probably half the bourbon in it, or like a quarter of it, and it'd be like, oh, there's not much. Here, you can have some if you want. You look like you need a drink.
Telfrin, where's
you.
Leiden and Claudette?
What
The three of
happened?
you went together. Where are they?
yes. We went together, but we left separately. They should be following shortly. I expect they won't have much trouble.
Does Telfrin look stressed? How is Telfrin looking as he's like?
Talfrin, did you try to clean some of the blood off of your collar and stuff that exploded out of the thing you stabbed?
Oh, would he have had time?
There was hay in the back.
Maybe when when he was riding in the back. So.
So he kind of looks like he might
Maybe
have butchered a
all on the
chicken or
duck,
something like
too.
that. Like,
What happened?
Yes.
You look a little out of sorts.
You look a little ragged.
There was a scuffle.
Sorry.
There was a
Scuffle.
scuffle. They're all right though.
I was gonna say, is
I'm
everyone
sure
okay?
they'll be fine. Yes, I'm sure they'll be fine.
Interesting.
You want it, I'm sure, right?
It's Telfrin. Of course you
Yeah.
want it.
We did. We did.
Oh, good. Well, we're just enjoying a bit of food and a bit of drink, and some good company, and I need to eat a bit more. And she's just gonna start chowing down.
A typical halfling.
Well, that sounds like a good plan. And he'll order a drink.
all right. The bartender will offer you the full selection. What are you feeling today?
Maybe bourbon?
Absolutely. I think we can actually finish off the bottle with you. I got 2 or
Alright,
3.
well, let's go for 3.
He'll fill the glass, and at that,
Okay.
can I get a perception roll off of everybody? Okay.
Perception.
I had to find it.
Dirty
too.
20.
17.
You'll
Not
hear-
as good. 9.
That was good. 9. All right, so you're going to start hearing heavy boot falls running through the streets behind you. Looks like soldiers looking for someone. Check the alleyways. Over there! Well,
Zete, this might be for you.
I think that's my ride. Well, say goodbye, girls.
Take care of yourself, Zete. Don't get into too much trouble.
It's not me that gets into trouble. Blame these two. And he'll pat the guns on his hips and then pull his coat together.
I gotta use
Well-
that line more often.
Well, don't let them get you into too much trouble.
I'm just happy to have them both back. Well. Me, Rose, and Thorn will hopefully be meeting you shortly. He'll tip his hat and head out toward... There's a back door, right? Like, I gotta use the... yeah, just head out the back. Kindly. He says. Tips his hat and vanishes out the back.
Well, that was interesting.
Was that the gentleman from earlier?
Yes. Yes, it was.
I see.
He got his guns back.
Oh, well, I'm glad for him. That's good for him.
Yeah. Oh, that was a beautiful shot that he made too.
That was quite
I hope
impressive.
I hope I can shoot like that soon.
Also, Talfrin, I have 2 swords now.
Yes, I was going to ask how your shopping trip went.
It was really successful.
I got a gun.
Excellent.
It's
You
just a
did?
little
Got
one.
a gun.
Yeah.
You got
I
a gun?
I got a gun.
You'll
It's
have
not a
to
fancy
show me
one like
later.
his, but it's a nice gun.
Also,
Wow.
Talfrin, you didn't tell me Dork is such a gentleman.
Ah, well, you know, I figured his actions could speak for himself.
I mean,
Need
I
my
do.
assistance?
I do what I can. Hey, do you need a beer, buddy? I can.
I mean, I guess I can double fist them.
How long are we gonna
Alright, go
be?
ahead.
How long are we gonna be in town? We should probably start looking for work. Excuse me, barkeep. Yes, sir. How can I help you? I was wondering, what kind of jobs you got going around here? Is there like a community board, or, you know, any, you know, dire rats in a basement, or, you know, jobs? Well, I mean, there are a number of things that need doing. You folks gonna be around a while?
I was gonna head south fairly soon.
I'm gonna be heading south probably tomorrow as well. So
Talfrin?
I was going to head along with them. You want to come?
Maybe when we get back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fine, whatever's good for you. Another round? He says with a smile.
yes, please.
All right. And with that, he is going to serve you up, and you are going to have a nice, relaxing meal. However, the drama is going to happen when we return from this short break. So, hey, folks, don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back after a quick washroom break as the party recombines and we learn what is really happening. That's not going to happen either. But we'll see you in a second. We're back! Hello, everyone. It's time to talk to the chat. I'm going to make that sound effect like in 2022.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. This is chat time. Oh, that reminds me. I went and grabbed something off camera during the break.
Is
Oh
it shrimp
shit, the
tails?
blue version is fantastic too.
Shit.
It's not shrimp tails. Howdy.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Shrimp tails.
I'm gonna have to hear the story about Shrimp Tails later.
It's a long story.
I had
It's a
feeling.
long story,
I
yeah.
had a
So yeah.
feeling.
Thank you.
It's a
I
meme
bought
that
it for
Julia
your
has
damn
become
game,
obsessed with.
James. I bought it for that Deadlands game. Back when I had my face shaved like Henry Cavill. I can't believe that actually kind of worked on me. That was weird. The mustache and beard, or mustache and stubble look. That was a weird look, but it worked. I need to. My camera's off center. My camera's. There we go. So, hey, folks, what's going on? How's everybody doing? Focus on talking to the chat.
Ooh, sorry. Good. Good.
All
hello,
right.
chat.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, man,
I
so
was reading chat. I was catching up on reading chat.
Sure. You
So I
weren't
am
sharing. You
interacting
weren't
with
sharing
chat.
costume links in the Zoom chat.
No.
Absolutely not.
No,
Who
not
would
at
ever
all.
do that while
Okay.
we're
Who
talking
would
to
Think of that. Crazy people.
so apparently, so Walmart, of course, today that happened.
Oh yes.
And of course, as soon as I heard that, I
For
called
those
Julia.
who aren't here, someone drove through the side of our Walmart today.
Yeah, and trapped a bunch of employees inside.
But
or
they drove
something.
through like 20 feet?
20 feet, and,
So-
and
Yeah.
ended up trapping people inside the freezer.
Is anybody?
Yeah.
Did anybody get injured?
It's all minor. Everybody's out and safe. No
Oh,
life-threatening
good.
injuries.
even the
Okay.
driver, which is that car is pretty messed.
Yeah.
How fast
They
were
did
they?
say it was an older woman,
Right off.
so it could well have been a medical emergency or one of the
Yeah.
old people accidents of hitting the gas instead of.
But like,
Ah.
seriously, how like to go through 20 feet though? Like,
Well, but if they were starting to try and maybe slow down to go into a parking space and not turning and just going straight ahead, they can hit the gas and they freeze, and they
Yeah.
hold it down. Like it has happened, and it is just a thing of.
That's how I threw a power jack off of our loading bay on my first day of work.
an old lady ran into you, and you.
No, but like I accidentally turned it the wrong way, so it was going forward, and my brain froze, and I just kept holding on to the forward thing instead of just letting it go, and it would stop. I just kept trying to fix it, and yeah, your brain just kind of freezes in those moments. So it's happened, but I've not driven a car into a wall. But yeah, no, that moment of panic was. So
I mean,
now I'm that girl.
I was there when a car drove into a Fairways.
Ooh.
And because they were pulling into a straight-on parking spot, they were old and they hit the gas instead of the brake, and they went right through the window, right through the counter, into the deli fridges. Like they went a good distance. It's remarkable how far you can get.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like as
Cars
soon as
have
I
a
saw
lot of
that,
power.
as soon as I saw that headline, I called Julia because I knew she was working today, and I'm like, "Hey, are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm alive. It's fine. Everything's good." And apparently, she had originally been scheduled to work until like 6 tonight, but she decided to go in early to do some paperwork and some extra training, and so she got off right before it happened.
Oh, good.
And it's like, that would have been stressful.
Yep.
I almost drove a car into another parked car on a farm.
I think I've heard that story.
I've heard that story.
Did I tell people about this story?
I think you did.
I mean, I know I haven't heard this story, so you know.
You told me about that
That's
story when you were
true.
driving my car.
The only story. Yes, and I didn't actually hit anything except the curb, and that was one time.
And that was fine.
Pretty well.
Yeah. We should get you driving more, actually.
We should.
But you live
really
in
have to.
Vancouver.
So,
They're aggressive. They're aggressive over here.
mm-hmm.
Oh man.
I used to live in Richmond,
Huh.
dude. Like we had a street
Oh,
racing
that was
accident
even
the week I moved in.
See, I actually really like driving in Vancouver. I find it really easy.
I
Yeah,
just
because you
remember
drive fast.
Yeah, good point.
Being 18 and trapped in Richmond.
I do remember being. Yes.
Trapped in-
401 in Toronto. That I was not an aggressive driver learning to drive in Vancouver Island. When I went to Ontario, I now have rage because you have to be aggressive because people are idiots in Ontario.
Aggressive. Be
Aggressive.
aggressive.
I swear, like a sailor.
I think you forgot to. I think you can shorten the sentence from "people are aggressive" in Ontario
Too aggressive.
to
People?
"Ontario's aggressive."
Or
yeah,
Ontario.
that's true. On terrible.
On terrible. Whee!
On terrible.
So let's talk about something. Let's talk with the chat, but I also want to bring something up real quick. So a number of groups that I follow on Twitter right now have, and some of the DM groups on Facebook as well, have started talking about people and rules lawyering. And or maybe that's not the way to say it. Maybe the way to say it is correct. The correct way to say it is like rules corrections and rules perfectionism.
Backseat gaming.
Yeah, and I think that's something that comes up a lot. Like we have a lot of that show up on like our YouTube feed and like, I mean, sometimes in the Twitch chat, but in the Twitch chat, it's a little more like in the moment. So it's a little more like, okay, they're, someone's trying to be helpful and it's right there. Like it's a little, It feels way different than like after game, not even saying good game, but just being like, your rules are wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and I think there's a big difference. But I was wondering what you guys think about that, because I'm looking to I'm going to start doing some videos for the channel, guys, that are going to be about like storytelling and running games. And one of the things that freezes me up on it and makes me a little anxious to do it is that I don't actually give two craps about game rules.
Well, and I think everybody, it's like anything. Like everybody has their own style of doing something that some people are going to disagree with. Some people are really going to like. If
what's
I
the
were
phrase? There's multiple ways to skin a cat. Like
exactly. Like the way that you run games, frankly, is a lot more of the way that the way that I play games. Like when I'm doing any computer games, the first playthrough always on easy story mode, because it's like I care more about just having fun. And just going in and just enjoying the experience.
Doom Eternal has been wrecking me because I am somewhere between easy and normal mode, and I keep having to switch between it, which the game encourages you to do, because the game doesn't care if you change the mode in the middle of a fight even. But man, getting over that speed bump is really hard for me.
Yeah, so I mean, if I personally really like the way that you run them.
Thank you.
I am way more I'm way more receptive to the fun first.
Yeah.
Being super critical on rules secondary.
Well, I mean,
like,
I think back to the time that you and Mars were riding on top of a giant worm that was going about subway speed in a tunnel, and like the rules don't allow for that. Like the rules just don't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna have a fight on top of basically a speeding train made of worm.
Yeah, it's
duh.
Like, do the rules allow it? No. Is it hilarious and awesome? Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight stunting.
Yeah.
And
I mean, as long as it's not like obviously like gonna like break the game, or like things like rules where it's like it's a minor detail. Meh.
Yeah.
Does it really affect the outcome of the story and the plot?
Things like concentration on spells, though. I think that's a good one to... But that one is really hard to remember sometimes.
I think that, this is why I ask that all the players, like when you're playing D&D with me, for example, if you're playing other systems, I have a much better sense of things, because I think it's weird that I run D&D on this channel more than anything else, but I'm not a dungeon master primarily. I'm an ST primarily over in World of Darkness games. Those games I have memorized purely, but I'm still operating on D&D 3.5 and Pathfinder mindsets on a lot of things. So I'm constantly, like, even now, it's been years. I've been running D&D 5th Ed for 2 years, and I keep going back to Pathfinder rules for some reason. I don't know why.
No idea why.
Yeah.
But you do too. Everybody does. Your brain's broken.
I don't do it nearly as much.
No, but you didn't really run it. That was the problem.
No, that's true. I only ran a teeny tiny bit of Pathfinder.
And that was enough.
And that was enough. And I was
a
like,
lot of
well,
rules.
shit.
Well, I think when it comes to rules calls, like, I'm fine with people saying stuff in the YouTube chat if they're respectful about it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, hey, I noticed that you guys weren't sure, and so you just went with it. But here, I've looked it up for you.
I've had a couple of people who are really kind of snarky about it, and it's starting to stress me out again. Like, I was okay with it for a while, and then, like, my stress levels are kind of up right now because I got a bunch of projects I'm trying to finish. And, like, I got, like, during the break, I got a YouTube comment that was, like, about rule stuff. And I'm just like, you can see me twitch because I looked down when we just got back from break, and I just looked down at my phone and went, like, I got kind of head wobbly.
Well, and that's the thing is, like...
Which one?
I'm not going to point that out because...
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. I kind of feel like it's fine to be helpful about it, but if you're just trying to call it out to get one up, like
Yeah, it seems like it becomes this whole thing of you're playing the game wrong or you're doing a bad job. And when I was listening, I started watching Matt Colville a while ago, he's a game writer and guy that I really like to listen to. I'm listening to him for about 2 months now. And he says that he has this one lesson I really appreciate, and that is that game mistakes are a feature, not a bug. That like if you make a rules call that doesn't match the book, then that's actually a feature. Like that was the game's design. And I think about that, and I was trying to think about this earlier in a way to express this that didn't seem like it was me throwing a tantrum. Where it's like, I feel like the majority of people who run good games do not have the book memorized. I feel like there are a lot of people who can pick up this book and can memorize every formula, every rule, everything in this book. I don't think that most of those people are good storytellers. I'm sure there are some, and if you're listening and offended by that, maybe you're the exception. But when I'm looking at this, like if, for example, I say that, move Earth, the 6th level transmutation, what kind of casting time is it? Does it, if you should know off the top of your head that it's a verbal, somatic, and material component, and that it's a concentration spell off the top of your head, I think that's a lot to ask of someone. Like most professionals don't know that much out of the book that they learned from off the top of their head. And the idea of someone who runs live being expected to go and have the type of photographic memory for rules that I didn't read that spell because I've never used it. Right? Like I don't just read the book for fun. I'm too busy trying to like plot soundtracks and like arrange games and work on costuming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And fill the damn wiki out. Which thank you so much, Trizalta.
That's the same as that rules calls have to be made, and it's more important that it's at least semi-reasonable and it keeps the story moving. Because if we stop the story for a good 10 minutes in order to look up the rule to get it exactly right, that's not fun anymore, and it's not going to be entertaining for anybody to watch.
Well, and that's a different thing. We're live. We're doing this for for entertainment. It's like a TV show, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a live newscast. If you fuck up in the middle of the broadcast, it's like putting on a stage performance. You roll with it and you get back on track.
Rules, you read them and they're a bit ambiguous.
They're a bit ambiguous, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can be, yeah.
So it's really,
I will say,
it's interpretation too.
In the most recent episode of Shards of Nirn, there was a big problem with that because Chris tried to. So I used this monster out of Kwood Publishing's Monsters of the Underworld. I love Kwood. Kwood.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're pronounced, but I love them.
So good.
The monsters are so crazy and weird and inventive. But there was this one power that's like, if you start within 30 feet, you are blanketed in shadow, and you take damage from it.
Yeah.
I interpreted this as like it casts darkness around itself. Right? Like you're cast in shadow. You should have some vision difficulties because it was a gloom giant, a giant made of gloominess. Literally, like it was a goth giant.
It was so emo.
Yeah, hold on. Let's show you.
Story time.
It was great. Story time. You want to see the gloom giant? Because I love this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
I love the fact that Amy just beat the shit out of the thing.
Right?
You just beat the shit.
Punched it.
I did almost no damage to it, honestly, compared to what you
Yeah, but
guys
you were the
doing.
last one to hit it. That's what's important.
Look
That
at him.
was the final. I'd have to do something useful in that combat.
Look at him.
Yo.
He's gloomy.
He's so
It looks
gloomy.
like the
He's so
personification
gloomy.
of my depression.
Right?
Right?
Well, I actually
That's what I
tried.
thought when he first pulled it out.
I tried to hit
Gonna put it
everybody
out
with a
there.
careless whisper because that's another monster in the book, the careless whisper. Dun, 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 dun,
Now
dun,
everyone's saying that I'm the bad guy.
Duh. Do, 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 do. Sorry. So like, but I was looking at that and it says they cast him in the darkness. It doesn't, as it turns out, or at least I'm not sure if it does, but also the giant has darkness as a spell. So the actual darkening effect was likely the spell, but it was kind of implied. So I went with the implied action because that seemed cooler. But then it causes problems, right? So you just have to do your best a lot of the time, which I find is kind of difficult, particularly in games that are this regimented. which is why I really like games that are far more freeform, like Powered by the Apocalypse games, where you're like, I don't know, can I jump on his head? I'm like, I don't know, can you? Let's find out. Roll your dice. Let's do this. Let's have some fun.
Can I jump up these bricks he's spewing at me to like punch him in the face?
Exactly. Well, and we had, I mean, are you an elf? Because The Hobbit says yes.
Nice.
But like,
No, I was a
like tonight,
superhero.
you
I
were
was a
like,
Teen Titan.
Talfrin was like, well, I have to run around the table. I'm like, why do you have to run around the table? Like, you're 6'6", and the table's like 2 feet, 3 feet tall. Like, you just go over, man. Like, I'm not even gonna count that against your movement. You're just gonna, like, you got long legs. Right? And it's situational. I'm not gonna always give you table vaulting abilities. But like,
Oh, damn, I thought you
You
said
know?
a precedent.
Would Very have just been able to just run underneath it?
no, but a gnome would have. A gnome would have.
Big Mac would have if he was in the fight.
Let me actually double check. I can't remember. Are gnomes or halflings shorter?
We always
in this?
forget. I think gnomes are
shorter,
smaller.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Shorter.
Because they're not
I
in
think they
Pathfinder.
are. Yeah.
Gnomes are like sawed off dwarves. They're like legless. They killed 50 men. Dwarves.
I think for everything, it's story over
Yeah.
the rules.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I like to listen to. That's what I like to play. Like,
Yeah.
The
Well, I
main
mean,
point
like,
of us
that's-
being here is to do a story
yeah.
and to have like a fun story for people to follow. Getting bogged down in rules might entertain some people, but
halflings.
I think the
Halflings are
vast
shorter.
majority would get bored.
Halflings are shorter. Damn it. We
Yeah,
always
'cause-
okay, well.
Because I know Very is 3'2". So,
Yeah. Halflings are
but yeah,
shorter
I mean,
by about
like-
7 inches. It's weird.
yeah, like my entire life motto is don't forget to be awesome. Because in my world, having fun takes precedence over almost everything. Obviously, safety is always number one.
It's almost like this is a game.
Ah!
So
And it's-
Who would
okay.
have thought?
Well, what about things with like concentration spells when it's like that person took damage. This spell has to be concentration because it's so OP.
How
Is that
so?
something worth checking and being like, hey, can we check is this a concentration worth concentration so that because this effect is going to ruin our shit?
I think that if the spell is written as a concentration spell, like I think it's a good idea to keep track of it because that is one of the things that like whenever I play like storyteller characters or NPCs or villains that have spells, it always slows me down a bit because I'm like, well, I get a lot of things like, oh, the spell doesn't work like that. I'm like, dude, I have
Work
only
however you
used
want.
spells that my character, like my villains have,
Yeah.
or that Farah has. So if there's a fire spell, I know it pretty well. But that's about it. I know those and banishment, and that's about it aside from the spells that you guys use regularly. And my rule at the table, and I think this is a really important rule, if your player has it, they should know the rules as well as you because they only have to know one character per game.
Yeah.
I have to know. Look how many I have on the front page. Okay,
Yeah.
like that's just like the chorus.
You as a DM, you have like 19 tabs open in your brain, and you don't know where the
7
music is
billion
coming
things.
from.
And I'm trying to do the music soundtrack at the same time.
True.
Yeah.
It's true. You're doing a lot.
Which is like it's been mwah. The music has been mwah.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Justice.
I think Zete has been kind of. I'm sure that there are some fan theories about Zete.
And some player theories.
Some
And
player
some player
theories.
theories.
But that's
Player
just a theory. A Zete theory. Thanks for watching. All right. Anything else we should talk about before we should head back into Gizame?
I just want to play. I
Just
wanna play.
about
I
how
love this so
awesome
much.
we are.
We're like 6
We are
out of 10
just
awesome.
fantastically awesome.
Callie's
So-
not in this game.
Shut up. She can be in every game
She
she,
might be
wants to be in.
She might be under the table.
Golly.
You can't tell. She's pretty short.
Honestly, that's
She's
fair.
only 2'11", so she can hide just about anywhere.
Oh, she's even shorter than Very is.
She's
Oh, yeah.
teeny tiny.
Callie.
She's
Oh,
tiny.
my
Which makes
and
it
God.
even funnier that she rode that Goliath.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That is pretty.
Plus one to confirm
amazing.
body
Or
count.
she comes
Okay.
to like his kneecap.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jesus.
I mean, hell, she probably comes to like Marcus's or kneecap as well.
Who?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Markham?
She probably does.
Markham,
Yeah,
yeah.
Markham.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Yeah, but she's a good cuddler.
Fine.
So, two things. We're going to hop right back into game, but real quick. So we have a lot of games happening this weekend. You should definitely check us out tomorrow night where we're doing the second half of a big fight for the Secret of Hexeter House. Then on Sunday, we have the season finale of Werewolf the Forsaken finally, which has been delayed because of a bunch of problems. Partially because Caitlin's computer exploded.
Yes,
That's true.
absolutely.
And now
I
Caitlin has a new computer, so that's
yes.
Yay.
It's
that's
much
like
better.
way better. But
Way
also just
better.
because like that was the earliest we could all get together and do this because a lot of us do shift work and like, and I'm a bum. And then also tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific, so 5 p.m. Eastern, I think.
Yep,
If
Eastern.
you go and visit us over on the Onyx Path, and that is twitch.tv, the Onyx Path, we are back there. Oh, I'm back there at least. Robin's coming. And I am running a game of Aberrant, which is a superhero role-playing game using the story path system, similarly to our Scion game. And that is our session 0 tomorrow, which includes Robin, Michael, who you might know as Zan the Plan or Vale Fender on Cyberpunk, as well as our friend Bryn and our friend Krista, who, if you ever watched Hunter the Vigil, you'll know Krista, which is great. So I'm trying to think, is there anything?
If you really want to fill all day Saturday with watching stuff,
Yeah,
you
I'm
can
gonna
join
be-
me at like 9:30 a.m. PST.
Oh, and where would they
I'm
find
gonna be
you,
streaming
Christine?
Tomorrow morning.
I got that.
You got that? Also, Mike, you just changed your Twitch handle, didn't you? You did. You're so
I
excited.
totally did. I'm so excited. I forgot to unmute myself.
Oh, I forgot.
Like
Screwed that up.
always.
At.
You can now find me at Captain Starbun, because I have a rabbit. He's in space. He's great. And I actually just updated a bunch of channel point stuff, including the rabbit.
And I think the only one out of us who's not streaming is Caitlin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right
Caitlin.
now.
On Instagram.
And now you have a computer good enough to stream.
Yeah, you can actually do
Let's do
baby
it.
streaming on that thing.
Yep.
You want to?
I'm not very good at games.
Hey, Caitlin, guess
fine.
what? You
I'm
know
not
who else
good
is
at
not good at
games.
games?
Me.
I'm really not good at games. I'm so not good at games.
My
Okay,
second
you know
last
what?
stream, I had Trizelta on and playing Fall Guys with me, and I was so bad that I was basically watching Trizelta play Fall Guys on my stream, which I need to get back at
Watch out,
Trizelta.
guys. Here comes a Cali Rush. Whoosh. Cali Rush.
Cali Rush.
I want
Cali,
to
Cali,
get
Cali,
a fight
Cali,
so I
Cali,
can
Cali,
do
Cali, Cali.
emotes so I can do a Vistra emote. I want
I-
a Vistra.
Come
I
join me
need to
tomorrow
make
morning.
emotes for me for my stream.
Go.
love-
I am
I
happy
love
to
my
talk
emotes.
D&D or whatever.
I mean, you could turn your chibi of cat into your emote.
That's true. I could. I want to get some custom Vincent emotes.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I want to get some like winged buns going.
All right, and then next week I am, and this is just speculative because I keep watching this YouTuber who keeps, every time she starts a video, she's just like, yeah, I stream 5 days a week on Twitch, and I'm like, I could do that too, not me. Because this is what I was doing all summer, right? I was streaming video games every day. I'm like, oh, so I might be going back to streaming some video games during the day on Monday, once I finish this damn book. So... Also, everybody put the pressure on Blog because if he doesn't smoke for 3 months, he gets to ask me to run him a game.
Yes.
Yeah, do it,
Blog. I have heard some of the
Blog, I
potential
believe.
planning. Do it.
It'll be
believe in
so
you.
awesome.
Because he wants me to run. Presently, it sounds like he wants me to run Vampire the Requiem, and it just so happens
No
that
pressure.
I've just written
Just
3
love.
books of it.
We love you,
so,
Blog.
but I would
Vincent
allow,
loves you.
if you do it, Chris, I'll allow you to play anything from the books that I wrote. So if you want to be something ridiculous, preferably using powers I wrote because they're the best. They're definitely the weirdest. And again, Mike Messiah wrote some stuff in there. He's pretty weird.
Most of them sounded pretty cool.
They're pretty cool, especially the
I've heard a lot of
Mesolarians,
behind the scenes while you were writing those. so.
because they can digest people pretty quick. And then projectile vomit to destroy people.
Yay.
And they have I deliberately wrote these guys so they're like giant like gourmands, like they're huge vampires. And originally their whole thing was like they're fat. That's it. Like that whole thing was just like someone was like they're fat and they eat a lot. And I'm like, that's kind of boring. Because like people with a lot of weight actually have so long as they're mobile, have a decent amount of muscle as well because they have to be able to like lift themselves. So I kind of rewrote them so they're just huge. Describe them however you want, they just big. Like to the point that they're kind of like grotesquely, like their heads keep growing and stuff. Like they just start swelling muscularly and like all of their tissues. So they're much cooler now, and their discipline allows them to not be moved, which I love. You can't.
Me when I'm gaming.
They're just a wall of meat. I love them. I love them. They're so good.
Still me when I'm gaming.
They're so good. They're
If
so
you play
good.
a flute, will they move?
If you play a flute, no, they won't move. They're not asleep. No, the Mesolarians are dope though. They're not Snorlax. I actually wrote into the rules because there was so much, like in the original draft, like the first edition, it was fine, but there was a lot of coded fat phobia in it. And I'm like, I'm not really feeling this. I kind of want to make this kind of cool. So like it's deliberately in there that it's like, yeah, no, these guys can be surprisingly fast. So, you know, if you want to see a 12-foot tall, 600-pound man come at you at Mach 3, then that is also fine. Because they
Terrifying.
Oh, exactly.
That's horrifying.
It is. Yeah, and they're literally they're coming to eat you.
God, can you imagine the kinetic energy of that?
Oh, yes, that's the discipline.
Yeah.
They have an ability where if they're in motion, they stay in motion too. They have an inertia power.
Talk about a
That's
kinetic
amazing.
kill warhead. Jesus.
Oh, they're basically a cross between Juggernaut and the Blob. I love it.
Jeez. I love
I
it.
love that.
Oh,
You could
God.
kill a satellite with that thing.
Probably.
But yeah, that's all it takes. The anti-satellite missiles are kinetic kill.
Oh, you're talking about Thor?
What?
No, the Thor system. So, the U.S. Department of Defense actually designed this weapon called Thor back in the 60s or 70s. And what it is it is a tungsten rod that is dropped from orbit. That's all it is. It's basically a pole. It's a pole about as big around as like a stop sign pole, and it's dropped from orbit. But because it's tungsten, its molecular number or its chemical number is so dense that when it hits ground from orbit, it strikes with like atomic force. Like it takes out city blocks like a pole dropped from orbit because it just.
Yeah.
But it was called Thor. Yeah, James is right. He's in the chat right there. Rods from God. It has the power
rods
of
from gods.
It is the power of a
Rods
small
from
nuke.
gods.
And as somebody who actually is this is a weird one, guys. As a scholar of nuclear weapons, because I am, and that's so dumb that I am a scholar
Me too.
of. No, but like I have a master's degree.
Yeah, you do. It's
Like
beautiful.
it's so dumb. It's so dumb. And I got to study Godzilla movies about it. But like I had to study the background and like the whole Cold War issue behind it. Oh, Mike, actually, there's a video that you need to see from one of my favorite YouTubers. You know what, folks, one sec. I'm just going to post this in the chat real quick because I really need you and I really need James to watch this because I know you will particularly appreciate it. And that is...
Anything to do with anything nuclear, I usually appreciate.
Okay, so it's this YouTuber called Noah Gervais. Noah Gervais is a James. I shared him with you a while ago. He's a YouTuber that you can search him up as Noah Caldwell-Gervais. He does a lot of deep dive analyses into video games that usually are like 2 to 4 hours long. They're great if you want to put something on in the background. Because he's just got that really like kind of cool voice. But what he did is he did an atomic pilgrimage, ghost towns, nuclear relics, and lost civilizations on the road to the Trinity site, the Trinity nuclear site. So he made a documentary of him going to the place where the Trinity tests were, as well as where all of the silos were under, I think it's Idaho is where he finishes. It might have been Utah. And it is fantastic, and you all should go watch it.
I totally will.
Like, you really should. It's really enjoyable. You'll probably watch most of his content because he's just a really, like, he's a Seattle hipster who does video game reviews and also worked a lot of retail, so he's got that kind of mindset where he does, like, there's a little bit of politics thrown in, but he basically was like, yeah, I make $10 an hour before YouTube, so I get it, guys. I delivered pizzas before this. I get it. But yeah, you can go ahead and post the link in the chat there. All right, so folks, we should probably get back into game. We got about another hour worth, and whoop, whoop. I left my hat over there, so I can't be Zete anymore. Oh well. I was de-zeted.
Easy.
I yeeted the Zete.
Yeet the Zete.
Yeet the Zete.
Yeet Zete.
I saw Captain Starbun in the chat right now. I'm like, who the hell is that? Oh yeah.
Oh.
Well, you're new.
I'm getting new ears to replace the cat
thank you,
ears.
Death McDoom.
I'm getting rabbit ears.
Excellent. Good.
Why am I not centered?
I don't know. What did you do?
I think the camera's just moved a little. Hold on. Yeah, well,
Could be.
I'll just center myself. All right. Porn everywhere. No, not on my computer, man. That's what my tablet's for. Amy, I need my tablet back now. And clear all that porn off of it.
This is your problem, not mine.
This is
Not my problem.
There's so many good jokes though. All right.
My circus, not my monkeys.
Not your circus.
No.
You know what? Don't say that in relation to the ography. All right, you guys ready to go back and do some role playing?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes.
Yes.
I got a cute star pin for Very.
Cute.
Fantastic. All right, folks, we're going to head back into game now. Thank you for sticking with us. If you like what we do here, give us a follow, give us a sub, give us all of your love, and maybe sign away your internal organs to us, too. Why not?
But we don't want your firstborn.
No firstborn.
Might want their organs, though, so just hold that. Make sure, like, once they're developed, if they have some extra kidneys, because remember, more organs means more human. All right, so...
Is that why you have 3 hearts?
That's why 3. No, it's because he looks good on the shelf. It goes next to the elf. Actually, what do I have on that shelf right now? I've got that dragon you knitted for me. I've got Carlton the skull. I've got my chicken. I've got the surfing Batman. I've got a Mayan god pillar thing that Jen got for me, and then I have a skeleton of an octopus, which is just the best Halloween thing I've ever bought. It's an octopus skeleton because, of course, octopi have skeletons, right?
Duh.
Right? Of course.
Duh.
Especially the tentacles.
Yeah.
On my
Precisely.
windowsill beside me, I have a tiny Albert Einstein with crazy hair.
That's
And
good.
he even has chalk in his hand.
Of course he does.
Good.
Over
Doom,
by
doom,
my
doom.
window, I have Mr. Victor Harvey. With
Victor
Good.
Harvey.
Excellent.
Ooh.
Woo,
set-
Victor Harvey.
Ooh, Victor Harvey.
Yeah, go Victor Harvey.
I have a tiny seal.
That's the seal of approval.
Yeah, it hangs up by my desk.
True.
It's
Good
got a
job.
little heart on its paw. Yeah.
Well, they can't see that. I got my dog paw. On
And
the
I have
desk.
She-Hulk. You can't see her right now. She's
And
hiding.
Christine
She's in
has
stealth mode.
Grogu.
Yeah.
He's on my shelf. And I have a little Thor on the windowsill.
What else have I got here? I've got this weird unicorn.
I'm feeling a little Thor right now too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gods
actually.
from gods, baby.
Rods
All right,
from
folks.
gods.
Let us get back to. Oh, that's cute. All right, let's get back to role playing. Are you all ready for this?
Yeah.
Hit it.
All right, everybody, roll your necks out. Let's go back to role playing in 3, 2.
Ruling out 1 if I did that.
That's sure you would. Don't roll your neck. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Reign of Emrys here on Dork Tales. Now, your time drinking in the bar is pleasant enough. Before long, you will find yourselves wandering back to the hotel. As you make your way there, I need to ask, Claudette, you and Leiden, as you are let out, as you're let out of the government building, what do you go and do immediately? Because I'm assuming you're not going to wait until you get back to read the letter.
No. I would like to have this read that soon. I don't know if I saw her get it though.
Yeah, so my thought is, we were going to the armory
Yeah. That probably doesn't take long.
to pick stuff up. Well, I was going to ask, am I able to get any of the magical cartridges for my sword?
Yes, you will have. You will be able to get 1 cartridge for it.
Nice. Cool.
That will turn it into a magical weapon for 1 minute, once a day.
Nice.
You can use 2 charges in a day, but that depletes the battery.
Oh. Right. We still need to get truffles for your mom.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah.
We should probably see if we can just have them delivered back.
Yes.
One moment, please.
If we stop by and have them order it.
Is going to try and do that. And
You will be given $450 worth of 450 gold pieces worth of expense funding
okay.
Nice.
in the form of a writ that can be exchanged at any Imperial store.
Okay.
You also will receive one additional item of your choice, as well as what is their supply right now? 3 potions of minor healing.
Do you want me to take that, or are you taking those?
Well, you
I'll
might
take-
as well take some of them, but I should probably also hold a couple
At least
myself.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't I take one? So sorry, it was minor healing potion?
Yes, minor healing, the basic ones.
Why don't you take 2 and I'll take 1? Because I'll use it as like a last minute thing.
Okay.
All right. The gnome, working behind the counter, smiles up at you. One moment, please. That's a 6. Okay. She looks your direction. She's a small, little bubbly thing with bright purple hair, pulled back into a tight bun. She proceeds to give you the basic requirements. So the way that it works is that once a day, Christine, for 1 minute, your sword can become a +1.
Okay.
It is only considered magical during that minute. Beyond that, she will provide you with those potions as well as your funding, and we'll turn and look at you. What else do you need? I can. The writ here says that I can get you one more thing, so long as it's not too fancy. Do you want me to give you a couple of options?
Yes, please.
Please.
All right. Well, I can give you a single piece of powerful ammunition. I can give you a pair of goggles that'll help you see. I can give you an immovable rod. I can give you a potion of greater healing, if that would do for you. Or I could give you a potion... pardon me, not a potion. What am I saying here? I could give you sending stones.
So the sending stones would allow us to talk over distance together, correct? Send messages.
Sending stones should do that, absolutely. Let me double check, because they
What
have
exactly does the immovable rod do?
Well, and she'll reach under a shelf, pull out a small rod with a button on the side of it. Well, here. She'll hold it up to you and go click, and then she'll let it go. The rod stays in the air as she lets go of it.
That could potentially be quite useful.
Push on it. It does not move. It is like pushing against a brick wall.
How long does that last?
It does. If you want to know, there was a story I heard once where where a young magus was being chased by a not a dragon, but I believe it was a roc, like one of those giant birds, and he was riding away on a magic carpet, as you do. And this roc was completely outclassing him. And he didn't have the spells to do it, but he did have an immovable rod. So he waited until the roc was directly behind him, opening his beak to swallow him whole, clicked the rod, and flew off. The rod went right through and out the back of the roc.
That seems
Oh, that's clever.
clever.
I
Dangerous.
would like
but
one of
clever.
those.
Absolutely. Here, this one
I
could be
think that would
yours.
also be very useful, Leiden, for if we had to climb down anything.
That's
Tie the rope
sort
to
of
it.
what I was thinking.
Oh, they're not quite as
Primarily.
powerful as they used to be. Sorry, that's the way it worked in old systems. Okay, so a flat iron rod has a button on one end. You can use an action to press the button, which causes the rod to become magically fixed in place. Until you or another creature uses an action to push the button again, the rod doesn't move, even if it's defying gravity. The rod can hold up to 8,000 pounds. More weight causes the rod to deactivate and fall. A creature can use an action to make a DC 30 strength check, moving it up to 10 feet if it's fixed in the air.
Yeah. That's funny.
You know what? I still think that if
want
that
that.
were in the air, your esophagus is not going to make a DC 30 strength check. So I'm going to say that probably
Especially if
works.
you're not expecting it. That would be a surprise.
A DC 30 strength check, I think, is pretty difficult.
I
for
mean,
most
a
things.
rock has a strength of... See, now we got to check this. A rock has a strength...
Hey, maybe historically they were more powerful.
A rock
or
only has a
someone
strength of
likes to elaborate.
28.
Well, if it rolled a 1.
If it rolled... No, but it only has a +9. So...
Yeah.
So in theory, like, it would have to roll, like, what? At least a...
And
at least
have
a
proficiency.
19? No, a 20.
Oh,
It'd have
okay.
to roll a 21
Right, I see what you're saying.
on
I was-
that.
So
and
we'd have
have-
to roll a nat 20
Yeah,
plus
that would mess a rock
Yeah.
up. That would
Yeah,
blast
well,
clean out the
that-
end.
Yeah, there we go.
That would
Absolutely.
make a lot
I
of
want
things
one of
taste
those.
bad.
Sounds like a great plan.
I can think of so many ways that would be useful.
All right, here you are. What you need to get is 2 of them, then you can climb up anything.
Yeah, honestly.
Edit, climb on, set the next one, climb
Are we
on.
able to get a second one?
No, not with this allocation amount.
Okay, understood. I had to ask.
Next
Um,
time.
This should be returned when you're done with it. The rest of it, enjoy yourselves. The potions we're not expecting back.
Okay, I would hope not.
I mean, you can always, between us, she says, leaning in, we will buy them back. Basically, it's like a per diem. If you don't use it, you can get it refunded to you.
Ooh, I see.
But that is Imperial government property from the rod. See, it even has the stamp. It does have a stamp.
Okay.
It's actually on the button, like it's kind of a ridged seal of the Empire.
I will endeavor not to lose it.
Good, because it's worth several thousand coins.
Got it.
I can't promise if I'm being chased by a rock, though.
I mean, I'm sure there are extenuating circumstances. Oh, and
She'll be very charming.
that battery that you have for your sword should be good for at least 2 weeks.
Okay.
It will need to be recharged before the month's over, though.
Is there a way that I can recharge it, or does it have to be returned for that?
It should probably be returned.
Okay. Hopefully we'll be done by then.
Recharging one of these is a much higher level spell and takes a lot of time. Alternatively, you could get an artificer to do it. I need to check what level they'd have to be for that. But they'd also have to have the materials to do it. It's costly. If you had access to something like the Crucible, you could probably do it yourself between you and Veri. But who wants to go to Crucible? Nobody. That's why it's there.
Sounds like such a friendly place.
Also, Kelly,
Yes.
Veri is going. Talking about weaponry, Veri is going to use an infusion on her new pistol.
Okay.
She's going to use the repeating shot infusion, and she's going to attune to it, basically.
Okay, so that it can get so it has bullets.
Yeah, so it has magical ammunition and is +1/+1. So
Okay.
So she is going to attune to that.
Okay, so that is one of your eventually 6 attunements.
Yes.
Does Crux count as an attunement as well?
He is not an attunement, no.
But he does
Just an
count as
infusion.
the other thing. Okay.
Yeah, he counts as an infusion, not as an attunement. But I can also remake him because if I have 100 gold. So
Yeah, he basically is what happens when you jump on something in Sonic the Hedgehog games. They explode and the rings come
Yeah.
out.
basically, yeah.
All right, so you will achieve your equipment and you'll head back to the hotel.
Did we get any more healing from?
You will be healed to full by the clerics
Okay.
on staff.
Perfect.
Otherwise, then, I think Claudette will suggest that we try and pick up the truffles or arrange for them
Yeah.
to be sent back
Yes.
on my behalf.
Okay.
So
Along with a
free
note
stuff
that
there on
I've
the way.
received another job that
Okay.
there was,
That will be
could not turn down.
That'll be
Maybe-
18 gold for that to be delivered.
She'll do
And
that.
maybe get more than the one box so that your mother isn't too angry at us
It'll
for
be the
taking
fancy
another
box.
job.
Okay.
The fancy box. Liam's
so-
gonna put something on top of it too.
That'll be
Add a
20,
few more.
25 gold if it's the fancy box to be delivered.
Okay. Okay.
And that will be delivered express with the cargo telepost.
Claudette will include a small note in it.
Mhm.
But she's gonna try and take advantage to, I don't know, does a truffle shop, is it like some of the chocolate shops?
It's like a
where-
really fancy chocolate shop, giant red
Where they
ribbons
have, like,
everywhere.
The option to have hot chocolate and sample them, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like a table, so it's kind of cafe-y as
Sure,
well.
yeah, you can absolutely be in one of those.
So Claudette will suggest that we stop and sample the hot chocolate.
All right, as you are being served some lovely hot chocolate with some lively conversation happening around you, kind of giving you a little bit of a hiding place amidst the crowd. Do you...
I will pull the remains of the letter out and very surreptitiously kind of keep it off the table surface. And
I don't know, because you said it was singed. Would mending fix the...
That is clever. Let me just reread mending real quick.
that's good, because
I recently listened to a podcast where they did this. Mending will fix the paper, not the ink. Usually.
That's sort of what I was thinking,
Yeah.
but I wasn't sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I think it's up
recently
to you.
been listening to a couple podcasts where they've done that and they've had to look up this rule, so yeah.
Hold on.
Well, I mean, all mending says, though...
Oh, let me decide real quick.
Yeah.
As long as the break or tear repairs a single object or break or tear.
Yeah.
So, wait, does it say... Damn it, I shut the book before I read the second half of it. Did it say that it wouldn't...
Oh,
Does it... Let's see.
So, I don't know that it'll regen, like, burnt paper.
it might not.
It'll stabilize it, we'll say. Sure.
Yeah.
I'll say this time it'll stabilize enough of it that you, Sorry, the chat was confusing me for a second. There will be enough going... Casting Mending is going to repair enough of it that you can actually take a look at it.
So...
Looking
Okay.
down, you can see written in very crisp handwriting. Do not look to the light. The sun sets and will rise again. Test the girl's mettle. VM.
Did you share that with me? Am I able to read it as well?
Oh, yeah, it's under the table, like,
Okay,
both of us
cool.
looking at it.
Okay, I figured, just want to make sure. Any sort of history, insight, anything to piece to see if I can understand what this means exactly?
It's a pretty good code. It's an old code, but it's legit. You can make me an insight roll.
Sure, that sounds good. Nat 20!
Oh, you get it. Oh, God damn it. Okay.
I deserve that!
Oh, shit, I took the linguist feat.
Insight 27.
I have code breaking.
You do.
You do. Okay.
27.
27, and with Claudette's help on code breaking. You will, Oh, God damn it, that 20. Here we go. Amidst the crowd, you will both kind of piece this together. Do not look to the light. The sun will set and rise again. You think for a moment that do not look to the light. Terranel is the last bastion of Imperial control on this coast. The sun sets in the west. The only other major location around here is Kazluxia, to the north. The Castle of Light. You think this might be in order to ignore what's happening at... whatever's happening at the Light Fort. The Light Castle, where your brother's positioned. Perhaps there's some type of secret operation. Perhaps there's something like that. The sun will set and rise again, though, is strange. You're not
Can
sure
you,
exactly.
Sorry, reread it for me? I
Do
wasn't
not
able to
look-
get it down.
Do not look to the light. The sun sets and will rise again. Test the girl's mettle. They seem to be 3 specific, like different things, but the first 2 seem more linked.
Okay.
So is it saying that ignore what's happening at Kazluxia, the sun? I'm not quite sure what that should mean.
It feels kind of ominous when you're looking at it, though.
Because my first instinct as a player is to go, is her brother in danger? Like, are they throwing him under the bus to try and groom Claudette into something?
He's not specifically mentioned.
No, that's true. Or maybe whatever force he's with is to be like, leave them to whatever's going to happen.
Maybe.
No real idea, but we also
No.
know from what you overheard, though, that he supposedly might be being
Indeed.
promised to the princess.
Yeah.
So he's kind of valuable to be kept alive, I think, because that would get the uncle more power.
True.
So I think we'll work this all out in a very, like, quiet, hush, kind of coded conversation.
Yeah.
Nothing actually said.
As best we can.
And then Claudette's going to destroy the letter.
Sure. Yeah, you can easily do so.
And quick conversation with... We should go find the others again. If Talfrin's there,
Yeah.
let's not say anything.
Yeah.
If he's got a reason to hide, then we'll let him.
You might want to get a glove or something to cover that up, and she'll look meaningfully at the...
I figured I would also talk to him and like, express support.
I
don't really want to spring anything on him though. Like, if it comes out later,
True.
wouldn't that be worse? I mean, I
True,
didn't exactly.
but we don't
ask
need to
for
let
it. It just got
everyone-
done.
I'm just saying that maybe not flashing it around.
Oh, yeah. I know.
So he can... Yeah.
I'm gonna try not to use it. I don't like that. That seems kind of ugh.
Hey. Okay, well, I recommend getting gloves, even if they're fingerless ones or something. Might be useful for holding onto.
ones?
I'm sure they do. There might be some nice ones for better grips on swords or something.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And Mother would like it because then I would not get calluses as badly.
Exactly. There we go. Okay.
All right.
All right,
We
we
should
should stop
go.
on the way back then.
Yes.
All right. You pick up some gloves on the way back that match your outfit with a lovely, say a lovely, like, calfskin leather or something like that.
I'm imagining they're tinted the same blue, like as your sweater.
I'm thinking the dark blue of like the cape in her.
Oh, okay.
In the art.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
You can easily have those. And before long, the 5 of you will once again meet up, along with Dirk, back at the inn. It's getting a bit dim outside. You can hear the fireflies beginning to buzz around and see them out the side of the window, as well as the cicada here on the coast. Perhaps that you've never heard before. The cicada, creak, 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 creak. It's a god-awful noise if you've never heard it. It sounds like the grass itself is creaking and coming to life. Like the world around you needs a spot of oil, Very.
Why are the trees screaming?
I don't know. I don't like it. I'm used to the city.
And Talfrin, what are you and Dirk doing? Just making your way back with everybody else? Being careful?
Yeah.
Okay. Before long, you'll all be back together. You'll bump into each other in the hallways, actually. As you're heading up the stairs, Claudette will be opening the door to her room.
Oh, you made it back all right.
Excellent.
You did as well.
Do you have a moment?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Maybe. Do you want to come in for a moment?
Of course.
Should I step out for this?
Sure.
Cool.
Leadin, you step out into the hallway just in time to bump into Ivy, Dirk, and Very coming up the stairs behind Talfrin. As Talfrin heads into Claudette's room, you will all see Claudette usher Talfrin privately into her room. And Leadin basically step outside and put
Closing
a sock
the door
on the door.
behind.
I'm assuming
hi,
Leiden's gonna
Ivy.
stand at the door so that nobody eavesdrops, sort of thing.
Lena's gonna link an arm through with Ivy if that's the first one who's closest to her, and like, you know, height-wise, and just be like, let's go have a chat in your room.
I guess I'm gonna.
Yeah, I mean, I not to.
Are we
Let's have
allowed
a small party? Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Yeah.
I love parties.
They
Let's do it.
How's to come? Tell me how your day's been.
I think it sounds like you guys had an interesting day.
Leiden looks over at the door, looks back. Yeah, interesting day. We'll catch you up later. They need to sort some things out first.
Okay.
Tell us about your day.
Someone tried to assassinate a magus?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, let's get inside. And she'll
Oh yeah, I'd assume that this would happen, right? Like I would shut the door behind them
Yeah.
and ask
Okay.
about that. Like, yeah, that's not a hallway conversation. I figured the door was shut already. We're all sitting on the beds.
cool.
Yeah, Very's gonna toss herself onto the couch.
Right. So, yeah, they
Who
How
tried
much
to
does it-
assassinate?
someone from trying to figure out, she's like trying to parse how much information she actually wants to share. So you're related to the Science Academy scientists, right, Ivy?
Yes, I work for the Imperial Science Division.
Right.
Yes.
Are you familiar with a rogue, she kind of glances over at the others in the room and she's like, oh, fuck it, we're all in this together at this point. A rogue alchemist named Dr. Utker?
Yes, actually. I've been sent to deal with her and her displacer beasts.
Right. So I think there's more than just displacer beasts because she sent someone who she'd experimented on to assassinate the Magus Quarto. And so Claudette and I have, well, mainly Claudette, have been tasked to go and retrieve her head on behalf of the Imperial Mages.
I've also been given that task on behalf of the Imperial Science Division.
Do you have to bring back the head?
Specifically the head, yes. I was requested to drop it on the doctor's desk.
Well, I mean, really, if you both need to bring a head back, why don't you just split it in two with a sword? If that's how you kill the
Gross.
doctor, then
Can you-
you have half the head each.
So do you both need head, or can you just like go and
Yes.
bring it to one person and then the other?
No, they both need head.
Can you? So you can't just share the head around?
I don't know. I don't know if the Magus will want to keep it.
And I must bring back that head.
Yes. So we can, I feel like at least at this point we can work together and then figure out that part. Maybe once Claudette and Talfrin have sorted out.
Yeah, we could even play a
Their
game for it. We can
business.
see who has the best head game. I mean, oh yeah, I heard how that sounded.
You'd like that a lot, wouldn't you, Dirk?
Shut up! I mean,
Miss
I'm-
What
What? Okay, Ivy's not too bright. What kind of roll could I make to see if she's figured it out?
You can make me an insight roll. Make me an insight
It's
roll.
like, cool.
Meanwhile, Very is on the couch, laying on
How
her
drunk
stomach.
does Very look?
Oh, she looks like
Very
looks
so
pretty
drunk.
hammered.
This room doesn't even have a couch.
Yeah.
11.
Exactly. So
11 on insight.
She's laying there. She's
She's
on her
laying in a
stomach,
flower pot, being like,
Yeah.
"This is a couch."
you know, with her head supported by her hands like this, and her feet, you know, going back and forth in the air. Like, she is pretty drunk.
Ivy with an 11. You'll eventually catch up.
Okay. So, like, a couple minutes later. Oh.
Took a minute, but you got there eventually.
What? You seem to have had a lot more pleasant afternoon, day.
I bought a gun.
I got swords.
That's nice. Very
And
nice,
we
nice.
met.
I watched a
Zete.
woman die.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, we saw that too.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well,
Zete retrieved an heirloom.
yeah, Zeke got his property back.
Zete.
You know that guy we
Zete.
saw on the platform?
You know, the one that you asked for directions.
The one who seemed intent on killing someone?
That
Yeah,
one.
that was it.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Yes.
It shot her right in the throat.
Yeah.
Quite
Knew
impressive.
he was dangerous.
Oh,
Jeez.
incredibly so. Definitely would not want to get on his bad side.
Okay. Right. Let's try and avoid him in the future.
Actually, he seemed pretty nice overall.
Oh yeah, lovely
She,
person.
she had like stolen from him, and
Yeah.
so he was getting his property back, and she tried to kill him, so he shot her first.
Yeah.
It was like,
I mean, overall, it seemed.
Suppose that makes sense. At least.
I mean, they were having like a showdown, so it was like one of them wasn't gonna make it, and then Ivy distracted him, and it didn't matter because he was looking at us when he actually pulled. It was a beautiful shot, but yeah, he was retrieving his property basically. is
Sure.
What he yeah.
Okay.
kind of
let's
girly
still-
names for guns, though. Like, I thought
What?
the guns were supposed to have like big badass names, like
When was the last time?
Doombringer.
How many guns have you even seen?
Well, I mean, there's one right there. Points at Vary's gun.
Oh.
She'll
naming your gun?
pick up and
Well,
and
maybe
start
not while
throwing.
you're drinking.
Very, very.
It's not loaded. Obviously, I'm not that dumb.
Okay.
It is super loaded, Vary. It is always loaded now. You made it that way.
Can Leden's gonna gently reach and be like, and take it out of Vary's hand and just be like, I'm gonna put it on the ground on the like next to you, okay?
So what are you gonna name it?
I don't know yet. Probably
What'd you
something
name
cute.
it, Dirk?
I mean, why would I? No, I mean, a Dirk's a knife. What? Sorry,
Never mind.
is that what you asked? Is that?
Yeah, I said, what would you name it?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I mean, it's kind of small. I don't know. Starflower. Seems like a very type of thing. I don't know.
That's actually really cute.
Starshine.
Shooting star.
Shooting star.
Oh my god, that's adorable. Actually,
That's
Should
good,
I?
Dirk.
Thanks.
There you go. See? Guns
Yeah.
don't have to be named something ridiculous.
It just kind of weird. Like
Mhm.
Rose and Thorn.
Well, who knows? Did he name them? Were they his?
And the heirloom.
He said they were. Yeah, he said they were heirlooms. They were made of this weird kind of green metal.
Yeah, it was really, really interesting, actually.
Have I ever heard of green metal? What kind of gun that would be?
Yeah, sure. You
Probably
can make
not.
me make me a history roll.
I doubt it, but
Here comes
well.
another nat 20.
it's not. It's not. But if it's a history roll, it's a 17.
I mean, there are all sorts of special metals. Like, I mean, green metal. That sounds like something Faye touched.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like an earthly metal. But it could be something just kind of like a green version of Orihalkan. It could also just be a tinted metal. Like, that's really easy to do. Something with a bit of, it could have like, what would that be, copper put into it to give it a greenish hue? There are quite a few different compounds that you can do to make that. But if it's
Yeah.
magical, who knows?
She'll just mentally tuck that information away in her mind. And yeah. So that's the main thing. I suppose we'll be heading off to Cordest.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that
You
makes
guys-
sense.
You guys are coming with us?
Oh yeah, seems like.
Fantastic.
So why are they having a conversation?
I'll
says-
leave that to them to sort out their business.
Okay. And meanwhile, as you say that, we pass through the wall and into... across the wall into the room where Claudette has motioned Talfrin into her bedroom. What do you do?
Yeah, so I was not expecting that.
Yes, I would appreciate it if you didn't tell the others. There's no need for them to know.
Yeah. Leiden and I had already discussed that we weren't going to say anything.
Good. It's best fewer people know than
Of
can
course,
just
of course. I understand.
fame and
I find
quite
quite the slavery is quite uncivilized.
That's one way to put it.
I've never liked encountering it. So I want to assure you that I won't use such against you. And if you are willing, I would like to continue employing and traveling with you. But I do want you to know, I feel like if you found this out down the road, that this would be an absolutely nasty surprise and would be very upset.
Okay.
So Magus Quarto did this. I did not know what it was. She offered me a gift, took my hand, and cut the ruin into it. I want to promise you I won't use it. She'll show the mark to you
Okay, how close?
at that point.
How close do you think we are together?
I'm thinking probably 5 feet apart.
Okay, I think he'd probably, if it's like close enough to him, I think he'd probably instinctively slap the hand
No,
away.
she's gonna kind of just
Okay.
show it and then pull the glove back over it.
Okay, perfect. I got you.
And I
see.
understand that you don't know me well enough to trust, but I hope to prove.
Right. Yes.
But I wanted you to know.
Thank you. Thank you.
I strive for honesty.
That's a good quality, I hear.
We've been tasked with hunting down the person who sent that assassin. It's in the same place that... We think it's in the same place that Ivy's going, it sounds like, so... Potentially, we could all still travel together.
That sounds like a good plan. Thank you for telling me.
Okay. By the way, Magus Quarto is... Ugh.
That's also one way to put it.
I would not say anything out loud in the city. I feel like that would be a mistake.
We can,
Shall we
discuss
join
her
the
later.
others?
Let's.
With that,
And she will open her door and show Talfrin out and try and figure out where the others went. She'll probably hear, like, the high-pitched giggling of Very or something in the other room.
Since
Oh,
I'm a
yeah.
ruckus.
you'll definitely be able to hear that in the next room over. And with that, you'll be able to head over and rejoin your party. The mood breaks a bit as you'll basically approach the door when you hear, "So what are they in there talking about?" And Leiden says, "Oh, I'll let them tell you." Basically, you'll hear that through the door as you're approaching.
Claudette will kind of look at Talfrin, put a finger over her lips and shake her head.
He'll just nod.
And with that, your party
Shall we?
rejoins.
Mm-hmm.
The door isn't locked, and you're able to enter.
Oh, that was awfully quick.
It was just a quick conversation.
Very. Yeah.
Quickie.
Everything sorted?
Absolutely.
Good. Right. Well, I was just filling them in on that we will be joining them on the way down to Cordust.
Excellent.
I just need to make a stop at the telescope tomorrow.
Okay.
Well,
we
depending
get
on
a fun
when the
date?
train leaves for Cordust, we might have plenty of time to wait for you.
Well, didn't they
I
say
think
that we
let's-
ride down instead?
Sorry?
Didn't they say that we ride down to Cordust?
I'm trying to remember now. It's been 2 weeks.
It definitely, the train service there is awful.
Yeah,
There-
so it's
there-
a much less common
There is
train.
there is a train that can go there, but riding will get you
Probably
there
shouldn't.
faster.
Okay. Then how about we? Where was the telescope again? It's here in town, or?
Oh no, it's just south of town. It's on route to Cordust.
Okay.
It was a couple hours out of town. I wouldn't mind
Yeah.
actually stopping by and.
It
having a
shouldn't
look
take
at this
very long.
telescope. Seems interesting.
I mean, if it's on the way, might as well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe get some sightseeing done before business.
Yeah.
Or that sounds great to me.
With that, you have a relaxing rest of your evening. You all gather up your things, prepare yourself for the next day. The tavern owner is actually quite good at her job and is able to set you up with a carriage that will drive you over. Whether or not it's a little bit more to basically employ someone to drive you there, but it's actually, hold on, let me think about this, because technically because you'd have to buy it whole out. So basically it's cheaper to pay someone to take you than it is to buy the stuff, for sure. So if you want to do that, it's up to you. Buying a carriage and horses is going to run you most of your budget otherwise, but just transit down there will probably cost you about probably about 25 gold for the lot of you to get transit down there, and that includes a stop over at the observatory on top of Mount Presidio.
Are we able to use that out of the writ that we were given, or did we use?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Basically, consider it a traveler's check. You can have it marked down and cashed for coin at any place. It's
Okay.
just safer this way because
So
nobody
25 gold total, basically, was the okay.
This is just a nice way because nobody can use it but you.
Right.
Is anybody doing anything before they go to bed tonight? I'm just kind of having a chill night, having some good halfling food, which sticks to your ribs, especially those of you who paid for the double portions.
Yep.
I think when they go head to bed, Leiden's gonna check in with Claudette again and just make sure that the conversation did go well, and see if there's anything that.
Yes, it seemed to. I imagine it will probably take a while before trusted, but
Maybe I should casually flash that I don't have anything on my hands.
I don't
think
know
that
that
would-
it'll matter.
No. All right.
With that, you all spend a decent night and drift off to sleep, safe in your beds for the first time in a while. Sleep is not necessarily a pleasant thing for everyone, though. And as you drift off, Ivy, the room that you awake in is dark and cold. The door is huge and looming overhead, several times your height. Everything is so large here, and you are so very, very small. You can feel the chill of the cell beneath your bare feet. The tattered tunic clinging to your body is... it's not sized for you. It's a man's shirt that you wear like a dress all the way down to your ankles. It's gray and dingy and threadbare and scratches at you, and you hate it. It smells like piss and dirt. The door opens. Light floods into the room, silhouetting the man in the coat. You can't see his eyes, but the reflection of light through his glasses is bright. Have you learned your lesson? His voice rumbles.
Yes, Doctor.
Do you know why we do this?
Yes.
You are very important. Never forget how important you are in the grand scheme. You are one of my first successes. I care for you very much, 6. You are valuable, but only as valuable as you allow yourself to be to the Empire. Ones like you, the Horned Ones. You were built by the gods originally as servants. Do you know that? The first tieflings were born from the thoughts of the dark and maligned gods. Servants to work in the shadows, to do the gods' will. Bound to darkness and shadow, so that should they die or fail, they can be brought back easily to repeat. You are important, 6. Just like your sisters. But do not forget. And he crouches down until he is your height. And he puts a hand on your shoulder and pinches your arm between his strong thumb and fingers. If you ever betray me, or the Empire, we can always just make another. You'll hear a bell ringing further down the hall. Ding, 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 ding. Breakfast! Everyone come down! It's breakfast time! It's morning! Come on, before it gets cold! Nobody wants cold oatmeal. It's about the worst thing in the world.
I'm gonna roll a con check to see how Varys feeling.
I would like that.
Oh, wait, no, I actually have a good con. 14?
I mean, you definitely need some electrolytes. You're gonna be like, do you have sunglasses?
No, but she does wear. I don't know where mine are right now, but she does. She carries her goggles with her.
You're gonna discover one unfortunate thing this morning, my friend. The goggles. They do nothing. And with that, you all begin to wake and head out.
Ivy probably skips breakfast. She's gonna write a letter instead. She's gonna
Sounds
stay up
good.
in the room and just say she's not feeling well.
You all have breakfast and start gearing up your things. Toward the end of it, Dirk slips out and As you're writing a letter, you'll hear, "Hello? Ivy?
Yes.
Hey, you missed breakfast. So, I figured I saw you eat meat, I saw you eat potatoes, so I made you a Dirk special. I'm gonna leave it in the hall, okay?
I'm just gonna like glance down at the letter. Actually, do you mind coming inside for a second?
Yeah. No, I sure. Hold on. I wish I had more of a butt. You'll hear, and then the door will kind of like go open. You'll see he's opened it with his hip and butt, and he's carrying like a tray of food as well as a beverage in his hand. I just realized I could have set this down. And he walks inside. You see that he's kind of made you kind of like a McGriddle. Like a pair of waffles with some potatoes and sausage and egg patties in it.
Aww.
And I wasn't sure. So like this is some like, I think it's mildly alcoholic grape juice, or it's just old. I can't tell. They all smell the same after a while, really. Good role playing on Robin, not commenting on that.
It's fine. It's
Okay.
fine. I'm actually too distracted by the fact that Dirk's
then-
made her breakfast that I didn't
and
even
then-
hear what you said.
And then apple juice. I have apple juice here, and I mean like water here, and he'll set it down on the little table. What's up?
She's like nervous. She's super. You see, she's like kind of like looking down at her feet, and she's gonna pull out the letter, and she's just gonna kind of look at it and not look at Dirk. And 1 second, while I forgot to open up Word, because I wrote Dirk a letter during the week.
Do you want to read it, or do you want to send it in chat? Is it a secret letter for Dirk, or is the chat gonna know?
No, the chat can know because it's
Okay.
really kind of cute.
Oh.
Yeah, it's real fucking cute. Why, Word, where are you? Why didn't I have this not prepped? Okay, anyways,
That's okay.
I think I memorized most of it, because I wrote it. And she's gonna kind of look and she's gonna say, right, let me get back to Ivy's voice. Dirk,
Yeah.
I don't know how to say this properly.
Oh, I mean,
What you did, she's reading, she's not listening to him at all.
okay.
Yeah, she's like reading from a letter, like someone that's
Yeah.
like nervously prepped from a thing. So she's like, if he says anything, she's just not listening.
Okay.
I don't know how to say this quite properly. I'm not like most people. I've had a strange upbringing, and I've been taught to see people's weaknesses and use them to my advantage to get what I need, whether that be information or other things. I've been taught how to control people using force or appearance, and I get what I want from them. I don't know what has come over me since I've left the city, but your acts of kindness, I don't want them to be because I'm manipulating you. Because I think I have what I've only read about in stories from my books growing up is what some people might call a crush on you. I like you, Dirk.
Wait. Did you just say Dirk?
Yes.
I don't think that's how you spell like Talfrin or Zete or any of the girls' names. I think you might have written my name by accident.
I didn't. No one has offered something to me without expecting something in return. At least I hope you didn't expect anything when you gave that gold. I'll happily pay you back when I get the money, but it seems like a gesture of good kindness, and I'm not used to kindness. And I'm conflicted about this.
You shouldn't be. You deserve kindness. Everybody does. I didn't expect anything back, Ivy. I just wanted to help you. The fact that you're a complete knockout is probably would probably helped, but I mean, you know, I guess I learned a long time ago that the only person that I can control in the world is me. And even if you were manipulating me or controlling me, I wouldn't have done anything different.
I don't want to manipulate you. I don't want to control you. I want to get to know you.
I like that. I'm kind of a little worried you might not like what you see underneath, but
I promise you, you probably haven't done anything worse than what I've done. I'm a monster. I'm not deserving of your kindness. I'm important to my job, but that's about it. I've been raised that way. But the distance has kind of showed me that maybe there's a possibility of something more. And I don't know how to deal with that.
I'm afraid of heights. I try not to be, but when I was a kid, I fell in with a gang and we did a lot of second story work. And third story work and fourth story work. I actually broke my leg really bad falling off the fourth story of a building one time when we were trying to rob, I think, one of Claudette's cousins, actually. I mean, I didn't know Claudette back then, but I'm pretty sure all those nobles are connected that way. So I'm afraid of being high up. That's why I actually like staying at halfling places, because I always feel like I'm high up without actually being high up. But I never stopped doing second story work because my brother and I had to eat. And sometimes, you know, people come home early. And I guess I just figured that, like, I'm afraid of heights, but when it comes down to it, if you're feeling conflicted, you might as well just jump because it's better than the alternative. You know? Like, hesitating is going to hurt more than jumping most of the time. And even if it hurts, you know, my leg's better now.
As he says, even as it hurts, she'll kind of touch her scar a little bit. But at that, she'll lean in him and give him a kiss on the cheek. And smack his ass with her tail.
Whoa! Hold on. I tried to roll a dice and I actually flipped it. Yeah, he's gonna yelp. He got a 5 on that. Well, you should enjoy your meal.
I'm afraid of the dark.
Okay, then I guess at the next opportunity, let's climb something tall at night and see how we do.
Sounds good.
Let's not let anybody else know about this, though, because they won't shut up, especially Tal.
No.
Like they'll just ruin. He'll just kind of like reach up and kind of like fold your hand around the letter. Me too.
She'll like awkwardly like not know what to do. She's kind of just standing there.
So as she kind of like looks down at her feet, he's gonna just kind of quickly like lean in and he's gonna give you the pet kiss or like the cheek kiss, and then is gonna go. I'm gonna go before they see that because it'll be our secret for now.
Yes.
And he will scoot out of the room as quickly and awkwardly. Actually, that's a 17. That's not terribly. Oh, he's gonna kind of just like.
She'll, as he's leaving, she will check out Dirk for the first time properly.
You know what?
She'll watch as he goes away.
He doesn't have as much of a butt as you probably like, but honestly, for a small guy, he's pretty wiry. Like he's got some muscle to him from climbing buildings and doing. He's basically got like a runner's body.
Okay.
Probably a bit from sparring with Talfrin too, right?
Oh yeah, he's starting to build up his shoulders a
training
bit
him.
from that, and you have him doing push-ups. So as he heads out into the hallway, who would be coming back to the room before everybody else?
Leadon actually was kind of worried about Ivy not having breakfast and was thinking about checking on her.
You're such a mom.
So as you come up carrying a McGriddle.
No, she wouldn't actually bring food, but she'd check first and be like, hey.
So Dirk passes you on the stairs, and can you give me an insight roll? What's your passive insight, actually?
My passive insight is 15.
Ooh,
or no, sorry. 17, I think. Yeah.
He is gonna bump into you by accident on this very tight halfling stairwell. And, oops, sorry.
Shoulder hand out to stabilize.
And
you okay?
Yeah. Doing. I have a quick question. Does Ivy wear any cosmetics? Does she wear lipstick?
Or
yeah, she probably wears bare minimum lipstick.
There is as you glance up, you are the perfect height to see a smudge on his cheek that is the same color as Ivy's, probably like plum or purple lipstick.
Yeah.
And he's probably, if he's acting kind of dazed.
Oh, he's a little red.
Right. And then she's gonna keep walking. Look over her shoulder a little bit and be like, and she'll knock on Ivy's door if it's closed.
She better not get a crush on me too.
Hey, Ivy?
Yes. She kind of like put the letter kind of like down her pants or something like that to hide it.
Just like tuck it behind the waistband.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I just wanted to check on you. Are you okay? And
I didn't sleep well.
No.
Dirk brought me breakfast.
She's saying this from the other side of the door, so her face is going through like a whole bunch of several different expressions of like.
Well, she'll open the door if Leadon knocked, so she'll open it to your.
Okay. Did he now?
Yes. He.
Insight?
Breakfast.
Sure, you can make an insight roll.
I'm spending my inspiration for the night.
It's probably a great idea.
Leiden is such a gossip.
It's almost like she's a spy.
That's 20, baby!
Yeah, Ivy has a purple flush right across her nose. And you'll see that there's kind of like a half crumpled folded letter in her hand. That sure looks like a speech.
Just like probably like a
Dear Dirk.
Dear Dirk in the corners.
Dear Dork.
It's like you're seeing this like Sherlock Holmes putting together all the pieces.
Well, if you're feeling good, that's I'm glad. I'm glad that you had some breakfast. We're getting ready to head out.
Thank you. Sorry for apparently causing everyone concern. I didn't have the best sleep. So I just decided to skip breakfast and do some writing.
Hey. It's all good. At least you're not I was just worried that you were anything like Very. I don't think she's opened her eyes properly yet.
She did have quite a lot
really
to drink
funny.
at the bar with Zete. That he didn't like the bourbon, so he gave his 2 fingers of bourbon to her as well. So I'd be surprised if she wasn't this morning.
She's probably just like 3/4 asleep, like shoving McGriddles into her face.
That's honestly what I'm imagining is just like not opening eyes, just like
Just like,
I'm so hungover.
Just doing shots of syrup, like.
yeah, like
You don't have the
she's-
energy to put the syrup on the pancake, so you eat the pancake and then just pour the syrup onto the mess. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
just it's a sight. So I just wanted to make sure you were doing okay as well.
I
or
am.
better.
Thank you.
That's good. Pat on shoulder. I'm glad you're doing well.
Thank you.
And she's just gonna turn and head back downstairs.
I was gonna do like a little bit like of a weird kind of, as she goes back, she kind of like a little tiny little baby spring in her step as she goes back to like get ready.
Nice.
Hey, Claudette.
What?
Shit.
I think Ivy has a thing for Dirk. We missed so much yesterday.
I mean, she kind of seemed that way on the train.
I know, but like, for real.
Okay.
Like, Dirk had like a little smudge on his cheek, like, oh, come on, this is fantastic. What if we can get them like actually properly together after all this? Wouldn't that be fantastic? Wait, where's Talfrin? Hold on.
So good.
Are you downstairs at the table,
Yeah.
sir?
Oh yeah.
All right,
yeah.
so-
She's like
He's probably, like, right
whispering
there.
into Claudette's ears, like. Psst, psst, psst. Okay,
Oh, I'm just figuring it's girl talk, so I don't care.
yeah. Talfrin.
Yes.
I have
yes.
to ask you. She looks up at the stairwell, make sure that Ivy's not coming down, and looks around to see where Dirk is. If Dirk is still in the building.
Dirk went back. Actually, Dirk is downstairs getting more juice.
Right. So, what kind of? How do you think Dirk would treat a woman well?
Yes? Oh, where's this coming from?
He took Ivy breakfast.
Yes, he's quite considerate.
Yeah, considerate doesn't get you a. Okay, sure, whatever. Fine.
You know, yes. He I think he might have a little crush.
Yeah, and he got a kiss out of it.
No.
On the cheek. There was some smudge. There was a smudge. It was.
As you
lipstick,
turn around,
absolutely.
you're going. Dirk kind of like looks back at the table.
Shh.
You're gonna see just the outline of a lip on his the side of his cheek, clear as day in the sun that's coming down through one of the skylights.
I think Talfrin will probably have been drinking some juice and will probably try to stealthily just he'll like cough.
Trying to cough, like
Trying to not
You
react.
okay, buddy?
Um
Need some napkins?
Leiden's gonna make a motion on her cheek like this, looking at Dirk. See if he figures it out. She's like,
He starts rubbing the wrong cheek. You can hear the
Anyway.
oh shit under his breath across the room.
I think
So
at
then-
some point Ivy's gonna walk down after if they're still having breakfast.
so anyway, she turns back down to Talfrin and Claudette. Shh. I think they want to keep it a secret.
at this point, most of
I
us
mean, at this point,
No.
Legion.
Yeah, but they don't know that we know.
Very is asleep at the table.
I think Dirk's figured it out.
except this one. No, tell for no point to vary. In any case, no, Dirk is he's a fine man. A bit too honest, and a bit too good. But yes, he would treat someone very well.
And as you're saying that, you're facing away from the front door as you're eating. And you'll hear a voice kind of echo across the room. Unlike some people. You hear a low, feminine voice full of a bit of gruff echo over your shoulder. Hey, Talfrin. You hear this voice say again. Do you look over your shoulder?
No, but he'll say, "Yes, Mira." Right?
No, this isn't Mira. Mira.
Then not Mira. If he would remember,
Actually,
if he
wait.
knows.
Oh, wait, is it? Yeah, I guess it is Mira. Is Mira the character from the first episode? Or did you just pull that out?
Oh no, Mira was from hasn't shown up yet.
Oh, that's right.
If
That's
they're
right.
going to.
One moment. Let me just check Mira's stats real quick. 1 second. I have Tira. I need Talfrin, Mira. I guess. Oh, Mira Rosk. Is Mira Rosk a half orc?
I don't think I actually figured that out
Is she?
or decided. Sure.
All right. Then like, then you'll say Mira. So you do remember me.
Of course. And at that point, he'll turn around.
What's your armor class?
17.
Cool. She's gonna punch you in the face.
Cool.
You're gonna take. It's
gonna
gonna
take
be 3 points of damage from a punch. It's gonna knock you kind of like off the stool, and everybody's just gonna suddenly like the lively crowd is gonna be like,
Claudette's gonna shriek a little and
I think at this moment, this is when Ivy walks down the stairs.
like kind of
you are
do a
gonna
little
see.
jump back and
You are going to see quite a tall, leggy half orc, looking down over Talfrin. And by leggy, she's quite tall. She is tall on the half orc scale. How tall is she, Talfrin?
Tall on the half orc scale?
Yeah,
5'10".
5'10". Cool. Sorry, I was looking up. I can never find the random like race height quick enough.
I have no idea. I just pulled that
Okay.
out of nowhere.
That's for Scoom. She's gonna reach down and grab you by the scruff of your collar. And this is hello. And then she's gonna stick her tongue down your throat. Which actually hurts a little, not just because your lips are swollen from the punch, but also because her tusks, like her little tiny tusks, are kind of battering against your now swollen bloody lip.
familiar sensation though. So he'll let it happen.
And she'll pull away and kind of grin at you. And over your shoulder, you can hear, "Oh, I see you've met your driver."
So that's how it is. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
You.
Nice to meet you too.
At this point, Vary's gonna like kind of wake up a little bit, shove the second half of a McGriddle in her face, and be like, "Are we leaving yet?"
Ivy's gonna be like a little like blush on her face. So she's seeing like the kiss. She's gonna be like,
Claudette's gonna share a look with Leiden and just be like, what have we gotten ourselves into sort of look? Like,
Leiden's face just grin.
what are these people?
Oh, this is
Wild.
brilliant.
You're a pretty little angel, she says, looking across the table right at Leiden. I think this is going to be a fun trip.
Claudette's gonna raise an eyebrow at Leiden.
Okay.
Yes, Leiden.
What do I do?
You flirted back before. I've seen you do that.
She's not gonna keep it quiet at all.
Okay.
"Good
What are you
morning,
talking about? What do you
everyone.
do?
But she's so tall.
You're our driver?"
So?
Don't worry.
Usually they're not tall.
She's like 3 times taller than I am.
And worth every penny, she says. Carriage is waiting outside. Lords, ladies. Talfrin.
"I am certainly no lady, but
Oh, don't put it beside yourself, Horny. I'm sure you're quite a lady. Funny. An angel on one side of me, a devil on the other.
Oh no, Mira, play nice.
That's exactly what I intend to do. Shall we? She says, gesturing out to the carriage waiting outside of the hotel. I hear you need to get to an observatory. Weather's coming in bad. We should head out soon.
At that, the rabbit that has been chilling on the table kind of just takes flight with a pancake in its mouth and heads towards the door. Like, wait, don't leave. And Very will stumble behind it.
Your friends are weirder than last time. She says over to Talfrin, and then turns and heads over to the carriage.
Claudette's gonna rise and swan out like the noble she is.
All right. And with that, you head over and prepare your trip down south. With a lot of tea being spilled, and
So much tea.
and even the drama bomb of an ex-girlfriend. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Everybody's getting some on this trip. All right, and with that, why don't we call game there? We'll do this again next Friday.
Sounds good.
All right, you guys got an angel fight. You got
Stuff!
You got stuff. You're hanging out with Zete. I did way more plot drops than you have any idea, even because I use coded language when I do it. And aha! And maybe even Shirthus showed up. You don't know.
We don't know.
You don't know who Shirthus is. All right, so that's gonna
never
be
know.
that's gonna be for night. Also, I used the drama bomb where someone spent a drama bomb. Like, I can't really do anything with a drama bomb to like enhance this scene unless I have an X show up because I haven't decided who the driver is. So I quickly sent a message to the group and I was like, "Have Leiden or Claudette dated?" Because I feel like Vary's too easy for this. Like that's just too easy. Vary was gonna be my backup.
Yeah, because
like,
Vary's dated like the entirety of the.
The entire she's been a port for the entire Navy.
Yeah, like
my
she's
Lord.
dated everybody.
So it was like,
Whereas I feel like Claudette probably hasn't, or at the very least, she's been gently flirted with in like the Regency era style.
yeah. So I
Courting.
was like, it might have been something that happened to Leiden during some downtime, and I figure tall woman is something Amy can never say no to. because before I rolled this up, I have a chart here for random NPCs just in case I need to make somebody, and I'm like, okay. So I rolled half orc, female, bisexual, and I'm like, well, I have a.
Hey, it's Tia.
Oh, the role. Oh my god, the role players! I was just about to raid you guys. Oh my god, I have you pulled up in a side window. I was just about to raid you. Hello everybody. So that's going to be the end of our game tonight. Don't go anywhere, Twitch. We're going to talk more later. But if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you very much for tuning in. We hope to see you next time. Bye, everybody.